ball to about the 47, 48-yard line. The defensive front, Larry Triplett anchors that group. Roberson is a good one. Miller is improving. He's young. Now you go to the linebackers. Madavi has been the bell cow there all year. Ty Ellis is back, and he plays basically a defensive end position. The secondary, Omari Lowe, has been the star there this year. Wandemi Davis gives away about 3 inches and 20 pounds to the Cougar receivers. Ball is swung outside. The tackle is made instantly on Dave Minnick by Omari Lowe. Omari Lowe has had a star-crossed season. The Cougars are going to have to punt. On 3rd down and short, they try to throw it out on a little swing pass, and it doesn't work. And it didn't work because the senior Lowe was there.
McElrath, 81's the guy you normally look for, but instead he's trying to clear it out in what they call a rub-off, a flat-out pick. But Lowe fought through it and made a great play.
And Alan Cox is in to punt for Washington State. Charles Frederick, dynamite receiver, and the returner is waiting for it. It's a massive punt. It goes into the end zone and beyond the field of play. It is a 56-yard punt for Alan Cox on his first kick of the day. And we've got a timeout with no score. Well, now that the initial flush of adrenaline has passed, the coaches can start to coach now and get this thing going. It is Huskies ball for the second possession at the 20-yard line.
Roll it.
Defending champs Tiger Woods and David Duval team up again for the USA in the World Golf Championships. EMC World Cup next on ABC.
Well, now that the initial flush of adrenaline has passed, the coaches can start to coach now and get this thing going. It is Huskies ball for the second possession at the 20-yard line. Pickett stands up. He's throwing again, and he's got a man over there. It is Reggie Williams, and Williams can fly. And he's down the sidelines and all the way to the 22-yard line. Lamont Thompson finally brought him down. Huge play for the Huskies. 58 yards.
Last week, Washington receivers couldn't get off the line of scrimmage. Oregon State was jamming them right there, and the receivers couldn't get off. They worked on it all week. Now watch what happens here. Here's Williams. He's working on the Coleman. 27. Coleman can't hold him up. Williams breaks loose. Pickett waits patiently and makes the big play. Boy, they worked on it. It paid off, and that one goes to Williams, and Coleman couldn't handle it.
Coleman's not going to handle it, period. Thompson's going to have to pay more attention to him, I would bet you. From the 22-yard line, first down, go to Willie Hurst. Hurst breaks the tackle, and then he is brought down by Lamont Thompson. Coming up, that free safety making another tackle near the line of scrimmage. But not before Willie's picked up about 5 or 6.
This is the Huskies' second series, and I'll say this about the Cougars. It is critical for State to put on a good pass rush on Pickett today. The Cougs lead the Pac-10 with 34 sacks. They've got to get that pressure today on Pickett, or he will tear them apart.
Alexis is in at tailback for Washington. Pickett throwing. Pass is on a slant. Caught by Reddick. Just a simple slant, but it's good for a first and goal for Washington at the Washington State 8-yard line.
Well, we say a simple slant, but I will tell you what Washington State does a lot of. They go man-to-man in their coverage out on the corners because they really have that kind of confidence in their secondary. He got great position that time, and Pickett is just throwing in rhythm, on time, and delivering the ball perfectly.
And number 14, Jeremy Stevens, is in the lineup, the big tight end. He's had a broken foot since the Idaho game. Pickett options to the right and pitches it back. And there's good defensive pursuit on Rich Alexis, and he'll go down for a loss on the play. Marcus Trufant came out of the secondary to make the tackle.
See, Trufant gave up that slant, lost position. This time he read it perfectly. He was waiting for the option. Watch 45 come into your picture. He's got the pitch man. Never hesitates. All he does is duck his head, though. He's got to stay a little bit higher than that, but that's a terrific play.
Loss is back to the 11-yard line where it is second down and goal. Willie Hurst is back in as a single back.
There's the big tight end you talked about.
Pickett throws it. It's out of bounds. Incomplete forward pass. Reggie Williams, the taller man over there, but he was out of bounds long before the ball got to him. Marcus Trufant covering him, a 6-footer. Williams is 6'4" and 250. He's a load.
But these battles are going to be fun to watch all day. Watch this. Bumps him off the line. Now he gets in his hip pocket, locate the ball, look back, use the sideline as another DB, and kind of funnel him in between the sideline and your body. Perfectly played by Trufant. He wins that one.
It's 3rd down and goal from the 11. Stevens back in there at tight end. They run the fullback over there. Pickett back to play. Pressure coming. Sack him. Back at the 20-yard line. Isaac Brown flying through from an outside position, field side, and just nailed him.
Isaac Brown is like a designated blitzer. Every time he comes in, he's coming on the blitz. He's got 9.5 sacks now. He's quick. He's small. Well, I say small. He's a 6'3", 220 guy, but from that position, he is extremely fast. That's his 9th sack of the year.
Here's John Anderson, place kicker in. John will try a 36-yard field goal. It's plenty of leg, but he hooked it and missed it.
What a great stop by the Cougars.
So they miss an opportunity to get on the board, and Washington State will take over the ball. 9:48 to go in the first quarter. Monday night, the New York Giants go to Minneapolis for a rematch of last season's NFC Championship game against the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be at 6 o'clock Pacific time on ABC's Monday Night Football. John Anderson over there cranking, angry because he jerked it out of the uprights. Washington State takes over, first down. Ball is on the 20-yard line, and John Tippins is the single back. Now you got McElrath going in motion. Gesser goes straight back. Now takes off. And it's this kind of stuff that your coach just holds his breath because he won't slide. He just dives in there and gets as much as he can, and he gets it just over the 25. Well, here's what Mike Price said about Gesser and his desire to get that extra yard.
He told me the other day, he says, Coach has been telling me since junior high, to slide and get out of bounds, and I haven't done it yet. But I even got the baseball coach out and taught him how to slide. We got slip and slides this last summer and had him sliding, but he's still good for that first down every time.
Turns and hands the ball off to Dave Minnick, and Larry Triplett was right there and stopped him for no gain.
Keith, they laugh about that, and they talk about his inability to slide, or at least his unwillingness to slide, but it has cost him the last 2 weeks. He was pounded against UCLA. He was hit hard last week, and he had that concussion, wasn't clear to play until Tuesday. He's going to have to slide, especially if he's going to stay in this game and finish, and they need him badly.
They do. 3rd down and 4, and they spread the field. Out of the shotgun, the pass is away. The pass is complete. It's a first down to Mike Bush. Big Mike Bush, 6'6", makes the catch. This time Omari Lowe can't stop him and move the chains. We have no score in the ball game at Husky Stadium in Seattle on a gorgeous November day. Stadium is packed, filled with enthusiasm. 2 good football teams, so if you've got nothing better to do, then hunker down with us.
Everybody talks about Mike Bush and his leaping ability and his basketball prowess. He used the old spin move to get open that last one.
Ball is just across the 35-yard line. Gesser, little play action, gets it away, got his man over there. He tries to get past that first defender, but the gain is going to be up to the 40-yard line for 5 yards. And we're off to New York City and John Saunders.
Keith, in the Burger King update, Kentucky facing Tennessee, an offensive explosion here. Jared Lorenzen, 62 yards to Anthony Kelly. This after Tennessee had taken their first lead of the game. This ties it at 35 apiece. At one point, Kentucky led this thing 21-0. Keith.
Wow. 35. Second down.
Keith, 6. Look at this, Keith. They spread you all the way across the field.
Passes away to the sidelines, caught by Baldwin, the tight end, broke the first tackle and takes it down to the Huskies 35. First down, Cougars Wandemi Davis and Ben Madavi finally got him.
Baldwin was all the way on the outside. We told you they spread you sideline to sideline, and then what they do is create space. Here he is all the way outside, just runs a little hitch, and then just dodges, because once you create that space, it's a lot of one-on-one tackling because you eliminate the pursuit.
Yeah, Greg Carruthers had him in his sights, but missed him. Put it on the Husky 34, first down for the Cougars. Ball is handed away to Tippins, and Tippins pounds for a first down. Picked up 11 yards on the play down to the 23-yard line before Kai Ellis breaks the tackle for Washington.
All right, you spread the field sideline to sideline, and you throw the pass out to Carruthers. Now, all of a sudden, you've got the defense on its heels. So you come back real quick, you pull the guard and tackle, you let them lead it up. Here comes Tippins. That's well played. And now you're mixing your plays. You got the defense on its heels a little bit. Their head is on a swivel. You've got the advantage offensively.
And Gesser's back in the shotgun. Passes away, completed. It goes to Jerome Riley. And Jerome Riley, who came out of junior college, he caught 6 balls last week for 158 yards. Now you got a penalty flag. It's going to be thrown on Kai Ellis. That'll go against the Huskies. Ellis is playing out there with bad knees. He's a gamer.
Well, you have the running back. Tippins continues to run hard. You have the guy locked up, Ellis, who's going to take him to the ground when the whistle blows, and neither guy stops.
Dead ball foul.
Yeah, because the whistle blew, and he still held on to him, and then eventually body slammed him. Here comes pressure. Madavi comes 41. They bring low on the outside. Now watch the end of this play. All right, here's number 90, Ellis. He's got him wrapped up. Right now, the whistle blows. He continues to go. Now watch the body slam right here. Boom! That's the takedown, and that's the flag.
Yep. First and goal, Cougars on the Husky 5.
Jason Gesser, 6 for 6, 60 yards. He's red hot.
Pitch comes back. Minnick runs over one and will get down to about the 3-yard line. He went right through Wandemi Davis, who's only 170 pounds. Minnick, on the other hand, is at 220.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something, though. Davis may only be 170 pounds, and he gets run over here, but he does his job. He comes up right here. That causes him to slow up. The pursuit comes. That's a great effort by Davis.
He picked up 2 yards. It is second down and goal from the 3. Back to Minnick. Fighting and gets a yard down to the 2. And it's going to be third down. Real estate gets very pricey down here.
Yeah, but I tell you what, he's tough, and they put a lot of beef in front of him. What they're going to do is they're going to take these guys, they're going to pull them, and then he comes up right off their butt. Watch this. Get him out, get him in front, bring the big guy, 221 pounds, but the defense is there, and it's taking 1, 2, 3, 5 guys to stop him.
Ball is just short of the 1-yard line. Do they throw here? Gesser goes back under center. Nope, give it a minute, and they stop him. Jamon Willis and Ben Madavi.
Now you've got Tippins in the backfield with you for an extra blocker. Here he is. Load him up and take him in and go right on his butt. But another fine job by the defense playing short yardage. The ball doesn't break the plane. 4th down and State's going for it.
You got a foot to go. This is a gut check, test of wills right here.
Defensively, you got to guess.
I don't think he made it.
Stop it.
Madavi hit him right at the top of the pile.
Goal line defense, defensive line has to submarine and cause a clog. Linebackers got to gas and go over the top to meet him. Watch 41 meet him at the top. He doesn't get there. Great play by the defense of Washington.
This is for the people that I call my friends. We're just getting started when the long day ends. This bud's for you, and you, and you, and you. This bud's for you.
You gotta have fun. A little bit of celebrating does not bother me.
These are great athletes playing the game of football. That's a celebration. That's fun.
That's because you ain't got no rhythm, man.
It's about individuality, Chris.
It's called professional football. Act like a professional.
Stop talking about professional and organized. They're kids. Let the kids have some fun.
We'll show you some
fun.
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
NFL Countdown, Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Is the market up? Is it down? That's the wrong question. The right question is, do you have a smart, long-term financial plan? If you were going to go out and play a football game, you just wouldn't run out into the field without a game plan, even though it may be 4th and long and it feels very uncomfortable. You have a plan and you have to stick to it. We've been helping people plan long-term for over 120 years. We understand and we know how to get through difficult times. The Principal Financial Group, we understand what you're working for.
Matthew McConaughey, Sandra Bullock.
Get your daughter out of the house.
Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey. John Grisham's A Time to Kill. ABC tonight, 8/7 Central.
There's the man that was at the top of the stack along with Carruthers and others. And they stop the Cougars, and the Huskies take over on their own 1-yard line. And they try to wedge it out to get a little daylight, and they'll get a yard or so, and that'll do.
Washington State, Keith, had 1st and goal from the 5, 4 running plays, 4 yards, don't get the touchdown. But again, the defensive line's got to create a pileup. Then the other guys behind that, the linebacker 41, here comes Carruthers. I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better than that. But you've got to guess, and you've got to dive over the pileup and meet them. First, Madavi's there, then the Carruthers out of the safety spot. That is textbook goal line defense.
Ball is on the 2, 2nd down and 9 for Washington. Pickett throws it. Almost picked, caught by Reggie Williams. It was almost intercepted, but Williams, with great concentration, just swallowed it and picks up a big 1st down for the Huskies.
Oh, KJ, you are so right. This is a dangerous play, and it is almost picked off. He guesses, he breaks, he reads, and David misses it. All right, so he gives up the 1st down. They move the chains. Had he made that pick, boy, that's a touchdown. You better take that one to the bank. Dangerous, dangerous play. Washington got away with it. David just missed it.
Pickett had a lot of heat on the ball, too, boy. He drilled it. 1st down. Ball is up on the 23-yard line.
Here we go, down. Fire!
Pickett throw it again. Throws quickly, throws hard. Pass caught by Jeremy Stevens, the tight end. And Ronald Smith, linebacker, covering him on the play, made the tackle. On Friday, ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast, presented by Siemens, kicks off at 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. Texas and Texas A&M. Then at 12:30 Pacific time, a trip to the Big 12 championship on the line when Nebraska goes to Boulder to play Colorado. 2nd down and 5 for the Huskies.
Blitz coming.
Pass is caught by Williams. Reggie Williams is tearing him up, and Cody Pickett is on target. He wasn't on target in the first possession, but since then he has been.
I tell you what else he's doing well. He's reading the defense. He checked him out of this. He saw the blitz. So right here he's changing the play. He knows he's got man coverage out to the left. Here comes the blitz, 3-step drop on time, and he knows I'll take Williams against David 1-on-1 on this play.
He's got 3 catches for 91 yards, does Reggie Williams. Pickett hands it off to Rich Alexis, and the big back rumbles along for a good 9 yards before they roll him up. Momentum right now is wearing purple shirt. After the goal line stand, they were sky high.
And Reggie Williams, the wide receiver, has to go out of the ball game because he just had his hardest hit of this game, and it was from his own guy. It was from Alexis, who's 225 pounds. Alexis ran into him and went hat to hat.
2nd down and 2. Maybe a play to go deep. No. Cougars jump. That'll give Washington a 1st down. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Trucks. the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. America's Dairy Farmers. The power of cheese. And Circuit City. We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you.
Keith, Washington State now giving up a lot of yardage. Remember, this drive started on Washington's own 1. But this is a very opportunistic defense. They've made their season with turnovers, forcing turnovers and turning them into points. And that's exactly what the Cougars need right now.
Well, that first play, that first pass was a matter of perhaps luck. Could have gone the other way. This is Alexis dancing around, going for 5 yards over the left side, and Jason Bond. Washington wants to go that way, don't they? They're running against the Cougars' defensive right side.
They have been left-handed all day, and it's something I'm sure they picked up in film and tape, breaking down and putting the game plan in. I'm anxious to see Jeremy Stevens. He's been very, very quiet. You know, he's coming back from an injury. They threw him that one pass on this drive.
He gets a little tender, apparently, after he's played on it for a while. He's done that in practice. Pick it back, lets it go down the sidelines, and it is incomplete. There's a penalty flag on the play, and that might be an offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning toward, because definitely the hands came out from Reggie Williams on the push before he jumped.
Yep. Against Jason David. They're picking on him.
Yeah, you made the point. David's 5'9", and Williams is 6'4". Defensive.
It's defensive.
I think Reggie got away with one. Let's take another look, and we'll find out. Here's one-on-one. It's man coverage. There's the hit off the line. That's legal. Now here's another one. That's not legal. But here's the push to go up before it. They were pushing and shoving both ways. I like that. That's good, aggressive football. Williams took a lick at the end of it, too, didn't he?
Yep. Jason David can't play it. He's not big enough.
Well, let's see what happens on this side with Trufant, who's a little bit taller. Here's the matchup.
Ball is around the 27-yard line. Pickett back, pumps it once, gets it up. They caught it. He's on the 1-yard line. Reggie Williams.
Well, we showed you the matchup before the snap. They went to a little taller defensive back, and he still couldn't stop him. That's a heck of a catch. That's his 7th play of 30 or more yards this year. Stop and go, anybody's ball here. That's pretty good coverage right there, folks. It doesn't get much better than that. But Williams adjusted. Earlier this year, I called him Baryshnikov in cleats. He adjusts and has better body control than most receivers in this country.
And the Huskies right now with a chance to take the lead. 1st and goal at the Cougar 1. Alexis. He's in there. Touchdown. Rich Alexis didn't jump. He slid to the right and found the crack. 8 plays, 99 yards. Reggie Williams was the big gun in the drive. The kick by Anderson. Penalty flag is thrown, and the kick is good. Eric Coleman, I think, came in and popped John Anderson after the kick was away. Yep. Roughing the kicker.
You know, partner, that touchdown was a strange-looking play. Took a long time to develop. It looked like they weren't sure of the call. What they're going to do is they're going to pull, they're going to get this back in here to block, and they're going to try to follow him. But it takes Alexis a long time to get in there. Look, read, kind of stumbles and trips, but that allows the hole to open, and he gets in for the touchdown. But it took a long time to develop. I believe he was supposed to make that a little bit tighter cut.
Next Saturday, ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast. This is Saturday now, presented by Siemens. Brings you a collision of 2 Big Ten teams, Ohio State and the Michigan Wolverines. That's all you need to know. Just turn it on. That's at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time here on ABC. How many of those things have I gone through over the years? That's always a great one. Well, the Cougar sideline now a little bit somber after having had the ball first and goal at the Washington 5 and failing to score because the offensive front couldn't knock Washington out of the way. And the Huskies turn right around and go 99 yards to take the lead.
Let's not forget what Mike Price said yesterday. This is a fast-starting Cougar team, and he really believed coming into Husky Stadium his team needed early success. They had to strike early, and so far it's been Washington. And so they find themselves down 7. They know how much pressure is going to be on them now to come back with everything at stake.
Jason David and Curtis Nettles will be the deep people for Washington State. And Jim Skursky is going to kick it off for the Huskies. After the penalty, the ball is kicked from midfield and is popped straight up in the air, and a fair catch is called by Washington State, and the ball is going to be possessed at about the 17-yard line. Jerry Thielbar, a tight end, called the fair catch. A moment now with John Saunders.
Keith, as you know, a week ago, Miami did not score an offensive touchdown and barely pulled it out against Boston College. Ken Dorsey was picked off 4 times in that game. Here, a touchdown pass, 22 yards to Andre Johnson, and a 10-0 Miami lead. Meanwhile, Tennessee has pulled ahead of Kentucky 38-35, trying to run out the clock and pull off a victory. Keith.
Well, that would have been some upset if the Cats had gotten the ball. 17-yard line, first down, Washington State. Gesser hands the ball away, and David Minnick. The Huskies are out-quicking him. They're getting to where he wants to go before he gets to where he wants to go.
You're right. You're right. And there's so much emotion right now for the Huskies. And everybody knows they were whipped last week, and they've got to come back with a vengeance this week. But right now for Washington State, I think it's critical that they take this punch in the nose, they withstand it, and then they get in this ball game.
Minnick has carried the ball 7 times for 8 yards, and the first quarter is over. So we've played a quarter here in Seattle, Washington, and the Huskies, the home team, are leading the Washington State Cougars 7-0.
Change for $1.
Sure. Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche. The only vehicle that changes from an SUV to a pickup.
Thanks.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
Those must have been some cookies you left Santa.
I didn't leave them cookies. I left them cheese.
Ah, the power of cheese.
Every time you use your Discover card, Discover will make a donation to America's relief efforts until we reach our goal of $5 million. Just by doing what you do every day, you can help the victims and families of September 11th. To find out more, call 1-800-DISCOVER or go to discovercard.com.
He's our best.
Where'd you learn to shoot?
Boy Scout, sir. Sent undercover in the most dangerous situations.
What is your connection?
I have no connection. Now, he's in trouble.
Tom Bishop's been arrested for espionage.
And the game, I'm getting him out, is...
We got zero room for error.
Get out of the way!
6 minutes. Look, I know what I'm doing.
6 minutes. 30 seconds. Get out now.
Spy Game. Rated R. At theaters Wednesday.
7-0, Washington leading Washington State. Cougars have the ball, 2nd down and 9 on their own 18-yard line as we start the second quarter of play. Gesser gets the pass away, takes a punishing blow, and the penalty flag. The penalty flag, it looked like it might well be on the defense. Omari Lowe jousting with Jerome Riley.
I can't figure these pass interference calls out anymore because they're so, it's up to the discretion of the official. His take on it, they were both pushing.
Pass interference, defense, 15 yards from the previous flag, automatic first down.
Here, let me show you what I mean, because you'll see both guys pushing and shoving. We saw Williams get away with an offensive a little while ago. Here are your guys right here, bottom of the screen. There's one push, there's the other push, and it's on the defense. So it's on Amari Lowe. Here's the right hand.
Yeah.
Then Riley kind of pushes him away.
Gesser took a lick too, Timmy. He really got whopped here.
Yeah, and this has really been common the last several weeks. He's been getting pounded.
Jamon Willis laid one on him. It is, however, a first down up at the 33-yard line for Washington State. Crowd trying to help the defense here. Gesser back to throw it. Lets it go down the left sidelines, and it is incomplete. The pass intended on the far sideline in a foot race with Chris Massey winning it over McElrath, I believe it was.
Folks, let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. Let's take you back, 1st and goal at the 5 for Washington State. 4 straight running plays, don't go to the passing game at all, and goal line defense makes the stop. Washington took over on the 1, went 99 yards for the score, and that's where we are.
McElrath has been quiet so far in the ball game. Here comes around the corner with Curtis Nettles. Nettles is on the sidelines and tackled at midfield for a first down before Greg Carruthers finally tracks him down. There's a lot of speed at these wide-out positions, and they've got a lot of people that can run and play that position. That time you heard a new name.
Greatest thing about a reverse, I'm going to ask you to stop it. Here's your reverse guy up top. Look at all the defenders go the other way. They just keep right on rolling. And if you over-pursue, and that's what Mike Price thought the Washington defense was doing, and they're going to run a reverse on you, they're going to try to let you run yourself right out of a play and come the other way.
Just across midfield, first down for the Cougars. They go back to the ground game, and it goes to the right side, and there's not a whole lot there again for a minute. They're really eyeballing him, and they feel they've got the quickness to get to him and keep him from getting started. Then Madabi made the tackle.
Madabi is so banged up. He's been banged up most of the season. Adhesive tape is holding him together. He's had shoulders. He's had ankles. He's playing today. He's playing with pain, but boy, is he playing.
Ball is down on the 45-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. 7-0 Huskies. Second quarter. Gesser gives it back to Minnick again, and he bangs in there for a couple of more yards. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down at about 4.
You mentioned McElrath. He has really been quiet. No catches yet. They haven't even looked his way.
Gesser calls timeout. He didn't have what he thought he had, and rather than work on a bad call, he took the timeout.
Washington State has 3rd and 5. The Cougars lead the Pac-10 in 3rd down conversions. The Huskies are last in 3rd down defense, and folks, look at this. They really struggled last week on 3rd downs.
Cougars have spread the field, sideline to sideline. Gesser swings it out, and a great defensive play is made by Jamon Willis. He went with that man in motion, and sure enough, he got the ball, and Willis made the tackle, and it's 4th down for the Cougars.
Well, they hammered this home this week. They were embarrassed last week. Here's your tackler right here. Watch him run to the football. His key is in the backfield. As soon as he releases that way, the linebacker goes that way. Willis shadows him, follows him, takes him, breaks down and grabs cloth and makes the tackle. They were hearing about this all week on 3rd down, and they came up on that one and made the play.
Alan Cox is in the punt. Willie Hurst is waiting for it. Ball hanging high, and he's going to let it go, and it takes a bounce for the Cougars and trickles out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. Mutual of Omaha, providing insurance and financial services. And Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better, Dr. Pepper. Once again, the Huskies start with difficult field position back on their 14-yard line. Rich Alexis is the tailback. Cody Pickett rides with the fullback and gives it to the fullback, Ken Walker. And Walker's got 2.
Story of this offense, though, for Washington today has been this guy right here, Reggie Williams, the 6'4", true freshman, 3 receptions, 59 yards on the last drive, plus he forced that defensive pass interference. He has been unable, or State has been unable to stop him. They're trying to bump him off the line, and they can't do it. It's been a mismatch all day.
Elstrom is yet to see the ball, and Todd comes to the bottom of the picture now as a wideout. Reggie Williams is up at the top of the picture. And Pickett, showing pass, gives it to Alexis, bounces off the first man, and coming across to make the tackle is Fred Chavis for Washington State, defensive end. So we're looking at 3rd and long now, 3rd and 8 for the Huskies. Jason Gesser's on the phone. Hello, Mom. Send the ticket. Huskies spread them out a little here. Pickett looks around, drops back, looks to throw, pumps, tackle, sack, 12-yard line. Lucky to keep the ball. It was Anchelonu who made the tackle. Anchelonu.
Coaches have made an adjustment defensively. Give Bill Doba a lot of credit. Instead of playing man, lock on, and trying to bump the receivers off the line of scrimmage, look how soft they're playing now. Look at this. They're 5-10 yards off the ball. Now watch what happens when it rolls. They're back into passing.
Blocked it. Picked up for the Cougars at the 25-yard line. Number 26 looked to be the man that got in there to knock it down. That would be Jeremy Buchanan.
Games like this, special teams are always huge. They win or lose ball games. This is a little bit of a high snap. It really shouldn't have thrown him off that much. They just got great pressure. Came off both angles. Both corners got good pressure. The high snap may have just thrown it off just that split second.
So the Cougars make a break for themselves now. Let's see if they can cash it in. Remember, they were turned away on a 1st and goal at the Husky 5 back in the first quarter. We're now at 10:15 to go in the second quarter. Washington leading 7-0. And from the 25, Gesser spins his second timeout. So they've got 1 remaining here in the second quarter of play.
Here's the guy that blocked the punt, Jeremy Bohannon. I'll show you exactly what happened. This guy right here's got a double team. So you want to take the inside guy, not the outside guy, because he has closer to go. But he takes the outside block. Here comes Bohannon. He takes the inside lane, lays out. That is well done. Boy, they overloaded that right side. They double teamed the blocker on the right, on the corner. The inside man came free.
Cougars are down to 1 timeout remaining in the first half now, and they come back to the line of scrimmage, first down at the Washington 25-yard line. Minnick is the single back. Gesser keeps it, pressure coming, gotta hurry. Jeremy Thielbar, the tight end, Omari Lowe, got him. And again, a tremendous blow laid on the Washington State quarterback, Gesser. Now time for the Aflac trivia question. Who has rushed for the most yards in a single game in this Washington State series? We'll tell you in a little while. Thielbar is down on the field.
He was hit high and low.
He was walking toward the sidelines and just all of a sudden, very quietly and gently, laid down. So Thielbar from Sandpoint, Idaho, as the medical staff hurries to him. It was a crunching tackle.
Watch how he's hit high and low, and Amari Lowe just went
right there
under his chin for the knockout punch. Wow, that's tough to take.
The penalty was defensive holding against Washington, and the Cougars will have the ball 1st and 10. That's a 10-yard penalty, as you know. But we're more concerned at the moment with Thielbar, as he's now beginning to sit up a little bit. And now he stands up and looks to be all right. Let's certainly hope so.
There's a lot in you, so.
It's the Cougars ball. 1st down at the Washington 15-yard line after the holding call. And a long time there for Thielbar, who seems to be all right on the sideline. Gesser out of the shotgun. Having spread him out, gets his pass away to the end zone. Touchdown. Wow, that was some catch by Mike Bush. He beat Wandamy Davis. They picked on the little guy, and Bush is a 6'6" basketball player and very strong. Davis is 5'11", 170.
This is a play that Washington knew what was coming. Every time they get in the red zone, they like to throw the jump ball to Bush. Not only is he 6'5", 6'6", but he has that great jumping ability. Everybody talks about his basketball skills. But this right here is just a great catch that he made for the touchdown. Great hands.
Drew Dunning to tie the score. It's good. So with 10 minutes and 3 seconds to play in the 1st half, we are even. The Huskies scored first. The Cougars turned away from a 1st and goal at the 5, and now they finally punch it in.
Bush with a terrific catch, because this is pretty good coverage right here. He'll just go down like that. But watch the coverage, and the ball is just thrown perfectly. It's a strike. There's the out. Here's the coverage. There's the catch. Doesn't get much better than that. They love to throw to him in the red zone. Mike Bush is their go-to guy.
We're seeing a whole bunch. Teo Johnson at Stanford, Williams here at Washington, people who are capable of soaring into the heavens. I asked Rick Neuheisel if we're going to have a whole new generation, different kind of receivers in college football.
There's coaches who are opening their minds. You know, the scholarship numbers are down. Let's find places where we can get some athletes, and certainly basketball's got a bunch of guys that can play. Baseball players are going to get a chance to play, and don't necessarily just stay within the dots all the time. Let's figure out ways to move the ball.
Athletes. Yep. That's what they're putting in there, and that's his 9th touchdown of the year.
High hanging kick to the 5-yard line. It's taken by Rock Alexander. He's the speed burner. The Cougars cover him and stop him short of the 20-yard line, and you've got a penalty flag. Face mask call against Washington State. That's expensive. Earlier we asked you the Aflac trivia question. Who was it who had rushed for the most yards in a single game in this series? I'll bet you not many of you got it. Hugh McElhaney did it in 1950 when he ran for 296 yards and 5 touchdowns.
And he did it without a face mask.
I remember it. I was a freshman and I was cranky for a week.
Did they?
He was a great back.
They had face masks then, though, didn't they?
Bars, single bars.
Yeah.
Hughes was a great player. Pickett, pass, good. Williams again. It's become the Reggie Williams show as far as the Washington offense is concerned, and here's Todd Harris.
So Keith, you talk a lot about the great alums at Washington and Washington State. And Washington State may be known most for delivering great quarterbacks. Bledsoe, Thompson, Rippon. as well as some great journalists like the pioneer Edward R. Murrow and our own Keith Jackson. Take a look at some of these photos. He's a grad of the class of 54, and he was a freshman back in 50, and you could tell journalism was in his blood.
Broadcast journalism, please.
Terrific. I love
that. Was never that guy.
Oh, man, I looked that up. I thought it was Christopher Jackson. That's great.
Ty Tupai in there to make the tackle, and Willie Hurst took the brunt of the abuse. Willie taken down at the 47-yard line.
Man, I'm telling you, that is as good as he gets. I love the crew cut, the ladies all around you. That is fantastic.
There's only one.
Isn't that the truth? And she is the best. Turian.
2nd down and 13. Pickett on an option. Nope. Whoa. The trailer really took a whack at him. That was Randall Smith, number 30. Cody, get up and look at that right arm. You wonder about it because you know it hurts. I don't care how tough you are. When you have a grade 3 separation, you got to feel it.
Just watch the end of this.
It goes down right on it, too.
On that shoulder. He is such a tough kid, poker-faced, hard-nosed cowboy. He wouldn't tell you if he couldn't move the arm.
It's 3rd down and 13 now for the Huskies.
Where's Rich?
Yep. Got to find him. Pickett's pass is intercepted down at the 41-yard line by the Cougars' Billy Newman. First time we've called Newman's name, and you talk about hard-nosed guys, he is one of them.
Yeah, he's a warrior. He's the captain of this defense. That's his 4th interception, but this is a pass that shouldn't have been thrown by Cody Pickett, and I'm not sure that hit didn't do something to him because he rolls this way. Just watch his hand as this rolls. You watch the quarterback. He's looking there the whole time and then throws awkwardly. Watch how he throws it, releases almost sidearm, leads the safety, Newman, right to the ball. And he makes his 4th interception of the year.
Yeah, you know, he never did get that hand up, did he? Elbow hanging the whole time on that side. They go to Minnick, and he is punished at the line of scrimmage by Larry Triplett. I mean, he just had him in the crosshairs.
Let me tell you something about this Washington State running game. The leading ball carrier right now is Nettles with 18 yards.
In the ball game now for the Cougars is Matt Kegel at quarterback. He has a series in the 2nd quarter in every game. That's the warm-up series in case he's needed. He's a big guy from Havre, Montana, 6'5" and 230 pounds. It's actually, I think, a pretty good idea to have your other guy in there to get some snaps and get the feel of the combat, and penalty flags have stopped it.
Well, they've done it a lot, Keith. A lot of times in that 2nd quarter, they bring Kegel in and they give him those snaps, and he's been very, very successful when he comes in.
New quarterback, new sound. Offensive lineman flinched on it, and it's an illegal procedure. False start. Washington State penalties. 6 for 60 yards. There are the numbers on Matt Kegel. 1-1 in the touchdown and pick department.
He's also generated some field goals.
He can run. Big guy. That's Tippins in motion. There he goes up the middle on the quarterback draw, and he got tripped up. He got tangled up with his own man. Trippett will get credit for the tackle, but he got tangled up. Otherwise, he'd have picked up 7 or 8, maybe even 10 yards.
Well, the Chrysler Drive summary tells you a pretty good story in Washington State's last 4 possessions. Had the punt, lost it on downs, had the punt. Then, of course, the touchdown, and that was set up by the blocked punt. So special teams have played a pretty big role for the Cougars.
It's 3rd and 12 now for Washington State. Pressure coming up the middle. Gesser misses on the pass. He got it away and had a man, but he couldn't get it to him. He gets it to him, he's got a big gain. Markeith Cooper came right up the slot untouched. Pickett putting on his hat and coming back.
He's a tough kid. Both these quarterbacks are very, very tough. They have really been battered this year. Continue to play.
Alan Cox to punt, and Charles Frederick, dangerous, is waiting down at the 20-yard line. Not a very good kick, but it takes a Cougar bounce and goes bounding inside the 20, inside the 15, and finally stops at the 12-yard line. Turns out to be a heck of a punt. Wasn't pretty. Next Saturday, ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast presented by Siemens will feature 2 games at 5 Pacific. Washington will be in Miami, and some of you can watch the Fighting Irish at Notre Dame at Stanford. So once again, the Huskies have relatively poor field position, but remember, they scored their touchdown off a 1-yard start from their own one, going 99 yards in 8 plays. They try to run in traffic, and Willie Hurst is going to be stopped back around the 8-yard line with a loss of 4 on the play. There was tremendous penetration that time by the Washington State defense.
Saw the numbers on Cody Pickett. They're pretty solid. They're getting everybody involved, but the starting field position is what's really hurt them, starting on their own 17. That's not the good way to do it, although the 1 touchdown by Washington, they started on their own 1.
Reggie Williams. Second down and 13. He's on the far side. Top of your picture. Better know where he is. There's the punt. There's the pass. And it is incomplete. And there's a penalty flag.
Oh, he was held from the get-go.
Yep. Trufant had him by the coattail from the very beginning.
And I will say this. Defensive players know that when they're beaten, it's better to take the 15-yard penalty than it is to give up the touchdown. The pump sold him. He had to hold him, and that was the flag. Now watch. Here comes the pump. There's the hold, and then the flag. You know, if you don't hold him, he's gone for the touchdown. So it's better to give up the 15 yards. Smart play by Trufant because he was beaten when he bit on the little pump fake.
They're playing on the field turf here. It's that artificial surface. Both these schools have it. Washington State put it in last summer, too. Cougars paid for theirs. Huskies got theirs from Paul Allen. So the Seahawks could play here while their new stadium is being built. On first down and 10, they give the ball to Willie Hurst. And you can hear it all the way up here. I mean, these guys are knocking the dickens out of each other. Reynolds Smith and Tupai were the people.
Just watch the collision, but we want you to listen to it. Real speed. Whew. Helmet to helmet. If you're a defender, you love that sound. If you're an offensive player, it drives you crazy.
Count your bones. Ball is on the 26-yard line. Now second down and 8. And that'll help the cause. Jeremy Stevens, the big tight end, showing up. Moved the chains on it. Defending was James Price, linebacker.
His second catch, nothing fancy, 6'7" guy. Just let him run straight down and hit it quickly. Here he is right here, and he's going to go right there. They're going to hit him in dead stride. 3 steps, boom, pop, first down, move the chains. Now let that big guy work, 255 pounds, drag him along. Put a tackler on his back and, oh, man.
Well, let's call it the 40-yard line. First down, Pickett. Again, that little quick drop, quick to get it away, and the pass was incomplete, intended for Paul Arnold. Arnold's been pretty quiet so far today, but he is so fast. You give him a crack and look at his hip pocket the rest of the day.
Story has been Reggie Williams with his 5 catches, 133 yards, and Stevens, who has been out with the injury and he's been very, very quiet, hasn't given him a lot of production. He comes in now with 2 catches, and both have been big catches.
The Huskies on the ground today, 15 carries and 8 yards, so they're in the minus column in the ground game.
There's Reggie Williams, matched against Coleman.
Pickett goes down the middle. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Coleman had good coverage, though.
Yes, he did that time.
You know, we're talking about the receivers. And this game, they had good receivers coming in. This is the way they came into the ball game. McElrath, second in the conference. Bush third. Williams sixth, although he's going to move up after this great day he's having today. Arnold, you mentioned his speed. Elstrom, all those guys ranked in the Pac-10, so we knew coming in this game had quality receivers.
Todd Elstrom has not caught one today.
That guy's been the story.
He will. Penalty flag. Somebody moving on the right side of the Washington line. Or somebody might have jumped across from the Cougar side. Let's make the decisions with this man. False start against the Huskies. Jim Springer retiring after this particular game. After 31 years, Pac-10 football and Pacific Coast Conference football and AAWU football and all of that. His dad, Jack Springer, was also a veteran official out here and was the supervisor of officials at one time and is in the College Football Hall of Fame.
The Huskies convert only 38% of their third downs, and they've got a long one here.
Penalty flag again. Pickett's pass is caught by Williams. Reggie Williams makes the catch across midfield. That will be good for a first down if the penalty's against Washington State, and it could be.
But if it's against Washington, Rick Neuhausel's going to go crazy.
Cougars offside. I thought so.
3rd and 15, and the Cougars let him off the hook.
Well, Isaac Brown is trying to blitz, I think, and he got caught in no man's land.
Forget the penalty for a second. Again, Williams just beats Coleman. Gives him the in, turns his back on the out, and very smart for a true freshman. Knew exactly where he had to go to get the first down. But there's the jump. That's the penalty. Moot point. Terrific play by Cody Pickett and Reggie Williams.
First down, Huskies, 50-yard line. Williams now 6 catches, 148 yards. Pickett on a rollout. They run it. No, he throws it and throws it away. Todd Elstrom was in the neighborhood. Pickett was running for his life and didn't want to take more abuse, and he was about to get a load of it.
You're so right. Elstrom was open, but he was so worried about getting hit. He really couldn't throw a good pass out there. All he needed was a little shuffle pass or a basketball pass to Elstrom.
Tupai, all 332 pounds of him, was about a stride and a half from it, and you could, I'm sure the earth was shaking.
He heard the footsteps, didn't he?
Oh, man. I don't blame him. 2nd down and 10 for the Huskies.
How often can you go to him?
Until they stop it.
They're going again.
Oh, got it and dropped it. He almost pulled off another miracle catch. Remarkable.
He is remarkable. And it's just not the catches, and it's not just the acrobatics, but watch the move. This is a very disciplined pattern. Little stop and go, which freezes Coleman just enough to get that step. And he believes if I'm even, I'm leaving. You put the ball up and it's mine. And he almost came down with it.
Red's pretty good with that elbow. He knows exactly when to do it and when they're not, when they're looking and when they're not.
Cody thought he had him too.
It is 3rd and 10. Again,
you go back to it
where Williams is. Sure. Let's stop it. He's coming across the middle. There's the ball thrown right to him, and they get him short of the first down. Noe makes the tackle for Washington State. They're 3 yards short of the first down.
I think about going for this. They're going to send the punting team out, but this is pretty good field position, almost 4 down position, where you'd give this some consideration. And in the punt situation, you're on defense, you better be looking for the possibility of a fake. They're just going to try to pooch it and try to back Washington State up.
Well, you've got 3:10 and counting to go in the first half of play in a 7-7 ball game.
And it's been a game of field position, so try to get it again.
Blocked it again. And it's going to bound around and roll some for the Huskies and finally roll dead at the 25-yard line. Anchelanu again getting in there to cause trouble. O'Hannon blocked the first one, and this time D.D. got a piece of it.
Bobby Houck, the special teams coach, is going to have to make some adjustments because this just isn't right. Washington State saw something in the tapes that they're now picking up on, and both times it's come from the outside. Just not a very good block. Push him to the outside, ride him to the outside.
Yep.
And then by trying to pooch it, he's going to the sideline, and so he kind of steps in that direction. There's Bobby Hauck, the special teams coach.
Well, here come the Cougars from the 25-yard line. And Jason Gesser with time, but a hurry. Can't get it away. Caught from behind and tracked down. That's a face guard. They grabbed the face mask, I think, or grabbed him around the head and twisted it. They're going to call it, yep, face mask, personal foul, big foul. It was Terry Johnson.
Well, you know what? Here's what they called it. You're right. The face mask, personal foul, but really he was clubbing the helmet from behind. Certainly the face mask was incidental, but the club was vicious.
Yep. There.
See him get him up top,
yep.
Slam the head, and then just got the fingers caught in the face mask.
You get yellow flag on that every time you do it. That negated about a 16-yard loss on the sack. And moves the ball out to the 40-yard line where the Cougars have a first down with 2:43 to play in the first half.
Coaches told the players after last week's 4 personal fouls, anybody gets one this week, they're coming over and sitting with me.
Pitch it outside the Minnick. He cannot turn the corner. He may not be totally recovered from the knee surgery he had about 3 weeks ago. Coming up, Capital One halftime. John Saunders, Terry Bowden, scores and highlights from around the country. Ball is on the 42-yard line. Second down and 8 for the Cougars. 7-7 tie. 2.5 minutes to go in a half. Gesser with time. Throws it. Misses. He had Riley and he missed him.
You know what I can't figure out, partner? McElrath comes into this ball game with 62 catches, and they haven't even looked his way. No catches today.
They will. Huskies might have something to do with that. They may be pounding him at coming off the line of scrimmage.
I agree with that, but they're also trying to stop Williams. I think you have to go to your best receiver and at least let him have a chance.
Spread him out on 3rd and 8. Crowd comes up trying to help the defense. Pretty good protection. Gesser runs away from it. Better hurry up. He's pulled out of bounds, well short of the first down, and again the tackle, the reach was up around the head, but no flag on it.
Here's McElrath right here. They were looking for him, but he fell down. Gesser rolls that way. McElrath slips right there. Now he's in a world of hurt because he's covered, and Gesser has to run, and that's not what the coaches want because they know Gesser's going to take a hit.
4th down. Cox is in to punt. Frederick waits inside the 20. That's a spinning spiral. Frederick calls fair catch, and then the ball takes a sharp bounce, gets past one of the Cougars and goes into the end zone. It's the second 56-yard punt of the day for Alan Cox.
We're down to the tight fit situation now as everybody's trying to get to the national championship game. So if you look at the bowl championship standings, Nebraska and Miami still up top. Miami had a tough game at BC last week. Today they're playing Syracuse, but these Washington Huskies go down to Miami for that next one. Then if you look at the second side, Pac-10 comes up big again. Washington State, Stanford still very much in the hunt in the BCS. And boy, this is as good as it gets. You know, when you get down to the last couple of weeks and there's still a lot of questions.
In case you're musing through all of that and find it bemusing, Oregon is rooting, if they're rooting for anybody, would be for Washington State, because if the Cougars beat the Huskies today, it increases Oregon's quality of opponent factor.
You know all the Ducks are watching.
That matters. That pass is complete again to Reggie Williams because he's got another first down.
8 catches, 170 yards, and right now the Ducks are saying, go Reggie.
Well, the Ducks beat Washington State and did not play Washington. That's the fact. Pickett, time, now runs out of time.
Throw it away.
Nah, he's too stubborn. He's not going to do that.
You know, they put that rule in, Keith, as you know, to protect these guys and let them throw it away when they get outside the tackles, and very few of them do it.
Yep. They all think they're bulletproof.
Well, they're trying to make something happen. I mean, they believe they can make a play, so he's going to scramble. Looks to the right, nobody there. Gets out of the pocket, buys some time. Now he goes back the other way and still says, well, I'm going to look for a receiver. Right here, he ought to just throw it away, but still picks up some positive yardage.
They'd be looking at what they're calling second down and short 8. And the Huskies spend the timeout. Talk things over, see if they can come up with something with 1:12 to play in the first half. All right, ABC Sports Online, and here's the question. Comes from Jamie Johnson out of Sharon, Connecticut. Who do you think should be named Coach of the Year?
Well, I know who I think.
I do too, but I don't agree.
I'm going with Ralph Friesen, University of Maryland.
What do you think, Todd?
I'm going with Gary Croton. Anyone that can follow a legend like Lavelle Edwards and go perfect, give it to the man.
Anybody who can go 3, 3, 4, and then 9 and 1. How about him?
All right, keep that up for 1 second. This guy went to the Rose Bowl 3 years ago. This guy, yeah, he did follow a legend, and the cupboard was full. This guy came into a program that hadn't won in seemingly forever. Last sellout they had was early in the 1990s. He's packing the house, and they're probably going to the Orange Bowl.
BYU.
But his cupboard was not empty.
Well, they didn't win many games last year, and he hadn't had a chance to recruit.
Since 1995, this is the way the Cougar thing has gone. 3, 5, then 10. That was a Rose Bowl year. Now 3, 3, 4, and now 9 again. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, oh, it's good.
You know, and this success really helps them in recruiting.
Of course it does.
All 3 great coaches. We're just having some fun. All 3 great candidates.
Second down, 8. Pickett dumps it off. Willie Hurst out of the backfield. Willie's got a big one. All the way down to the Cougar 41-yard line. Isaac Brown was the man after Pickett. But Cody found something and made it work.
Now time's a factor. The clock stops as they move the chains. Cody Pickett very wisely gets everybody up to the line of scrimmage. When they put it in play, he'll get it snapped.
No huddle. Reggie Williams will be at the top of your screen. Way up there at the top. That's him. Guess who they're throwing it to?
There he is. 51 seconds. Stop the clock, move the chain, same drill.
26-yard line. First down.
Get everybody lined up. He's now calling the play.
Williams is down on this side of the picture.
As soon as they put it in play, he'll go. Here's Reggie.
Throw it over the middle. It's caught by Jeremy Stevens, the tight end. And Stevens gets it down to the 15-yard line. Move the chains again, stopping the clock at 42 seconds. This is a pretty good drill by the Huskies.
Cody Pickett will take a timeout here. He's been like a curator of clocks in this drive. Well managed.
Huskies have 1 timeout remaining. Keith Gilbertson, the offensive coordinator, got him on a roll, calling everything's going right at the right time.
Everybody's looking for Reggie on that last play. The guy that's had the hot hand outside of Reggie, your big tight end who's been quiet for the last several weeks. Here he is. They just set him down here and try to use that big frame of his. Delay him that split second, throw it high. He's 6'7". Use every bit of it. But Cody Pickett in this drive has been spectacular.
Well, I know how Keith thinks about a circumstance like this. He's stubborn too. But if you got something that's working like the Reggie Williams situation, you just keep on using it till they stop it.
Well, and he's doing that. I mean, Williams has 9 catches, 186 yards.
Now that's Keith for you. He knows what he's doing.
Gilby's fun, isn't it? Yep. He has fun coaching. Yep. He's a fun guy. Players love him. That's incredible.
That's some
That is incredible. And how about that? 21 yards a catch.
Amazing.
Well, he's got speed. He's got size. He's 6'4", 215, but he has great body control as well. Look at some of these catches and the adjustment he makes around the defender. Yeah, he'll push and he'll shove like the big-timers do. He runs great routes. He's a technician. He's an athlete. He has great concentration. He's spectacular.
42 seconds to go in the first half. It's on the 15-yard line of the Cougars, and Washington trying to stick it in there for another touchdown. Hand it to Willie Hurst. Hurst will go down to the 12, maybe the 11. Narway comes up with a ball, and it's dead. He's down.
You know who got in the way? The umpire. Boy, watch the umpire, Dennis Angel. Brown can't cause a fumble. He was down for a long time before that ball got away. Another timeout is needed here by White. They're trying to get one. Newhouse's trying to get one, and Pickett didn't see him.
Now they call it with 11 seconds remaining in the first half. They finally get the timeout.
Well, Rick was calling it from the sideline, and he was trying to get Jim Springer, the referee, to stop the clock, but Cody Pickett didn't call it.
Well, he was involved.
See if they put some more time back on the clock. Jim's a fair guy. He knows what the deal is. Plus, he doesn't have to put up with this much longer.
I go for 2 seconds back on. So it'll be 13 seconds. Let me give you the rest of the officials. Head linesman Royce Cooley. Line judge is Michael Fellman. Dan Sprieskebach, the field judge. Side judge is Rob Bernacci. And the back judge is Jack Folliard.
Added 11 seconds. It's now 22 seconds to go. And that means a lot because that is 3 or 4 plays.
That might have been a little generous.
Average play lasts 6 seconds. That's how you sell these guys. Hey, look. You know, if you're getting tired of play only lasts 6 seconds, you can give me that every time that ball is snapped.
The Huskies are out of times out now. There are the standings as we started the day. The Oregon Ducks do not play until December 1 when they play Oregon State in Eugene. The reason for that, the agreement with the network was that we'll put you on national television if you play December 1, and they said yes. But then that was made a long time ago and a long time before September.
A lot of people in the East don't get a chance to see the Pac-10, but I can tell you emphatically, this is the best conference top to bottom in the nation.
This year it is. It is, in my mind, no doubt. Ball is in between the 11 and 12-yard hash marks.
Your matchup again will be Williams against Trufant.
Going to bring another ball in. Huskies use what did they use? The 10-01.
Keith, there's 45. Trufant broke a bone in his hand. He's wearing that big old cast.
10-05 the Huskies use. I guess it's Cougars go 10-01. I don't know. One or the other. Pick it back. There it is. And it is Reggie Williams, obviously again, and a fierce battle for the ball with Trufant.
I am really surprised there's no flag. Watch the push on this one. Trufant, push. They're beyond the 5 yards. You can't do that.
Trufant playing with a cast on his right hand.
Man.
Woo. A lot of stuff. 3rd down and 6.
Same matchup. There it is. Now they're playing off.
18 seconds. Show blitz. Newman's up there, backs out.
Pickett changed the play.
Newman comes anyway, and they come back to this side, and it's incomplete. So the Cougars took the inside route. Billy Newman blitzing and got in his face a bit, and they come to this side, and it is incomplete.
2 plays took 9 seconds. We've got 13 left as they bring on the special teams.
John Anderson for the field goal try to give the Huskies the lead going into the clubhouse at halftime. Be a 29-yard field goal try. Pickett holds it. Plenty of leg. He knocked it downtown, and it's good. So Washington gets the lead in the final seconds of the first half. 9 seconds remaining. 10-7. Huskies. Well, I tell you what, that was some no-huddle drive they had going for a while there, wasn't it?
It sure was, and this kick right here was solid. You know, I think he was still upset from earlier today when he kind of pushed one, or hooked it rather. This one, he really got into it. That was a great drive by the Huskies.
The temperature today getting up somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 degrees after all the rain this week. It rained so much that the Skokomish River overflowed and the chum salmon were swimming across the highway, which provided one of the great pieces of tape and one of the wonderful pictures of all time, a little girl trying to help a fish cross the road. So the Huskies now will kick it away with Skursky doing the kicking. Last time he kicked it high and short. Ball fell off the tee, so he's got to re-tee it. Last time the field bar, the tight end, called a fair catch up around the 25-yard line. 9 seconds to go. Here it is. He got a lot of it this time, knocking it all the way back in the end zone. He's coming out with it. That's Jason David. And oh, Huskies dive for it, fight for it now, and
1 second on the clock. The Huskies got it. They're going to have a chance for a field goal with 1 second left.
David fumbled the football, and the Huskies recover it after the huge pileup in the fight for it.
Why would he bring it out that deep?
Why would he? Absolutely. Why not put it down in the end zone and leave it there? So here's Anderson out quickly. You can coach him, but you can't always make him do what you want.
See the clock up in the corner. Here comes the fumble. It's loose. Now, the whistle blows with 1 second left. And that's enough for this field goal attempt.
Kick is good.
Wow, what a turnaround.
The Huskies go to the clubhouse sky high. Cougars dauber down, no question. It is dramatic. 16-7. 13-7. 13.
On June 6, 1944, American and Allied forces were called into action. Jeep was there when they answered that call.
The world isn't going to see it anyway. Umpire's the only one that had a chance at it, and I'm not sure he could.
It was a bang-bang play.
Yep.
But it's a tone setter.
Big turnaround, boy. 19-7. It was a 7-7 tie, and it looked like it was going to be that way. And then that little explosion by the Huskies, and then bang-bang field goals, and now they're up 19-7. Cougars, let's see if they can handle it this time. Here comes the speed to the outside. Got a block. Goes back inside, gets tackled at the 25-yard line. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Nissan. Nissan, driven. Morgan Stanley, formerly Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money, get well connected. And Tostitos Scoops, the dip lovers chip.
It is critical right now for Washington State to maintain its composure, not try to get everything back at once. Just stay with your game plan. Work the ball effectively.
Gesser, a little quick drop, takes off up the middle. Ball and Cougars obviously have the ball. It's Josh Parrish. Big old tackle got it. And he just kept rumbling on up the field, and they come up with a first down out by the 40-yard line.
You know, Josh Parrish showed us something there. He's 6'6", 300 pounds. First of all, he makes a very alert play. Shows he can catch the ball. And then what a runner. All right, now watch when the ball comes loose. Look at Parrish.
I'm not
Locates
sure.
it.
Did he lob it back to it?
I think it was just ripped out, but look at Parrish.
I mean, it looked almost like a pitch back to him. This time the ball goes to Minnick. And there just hasn't been much room for David today.
No, but
Javon Willis.
It's critical, Keith, that he doesn't get frustrated. He has 13 carries, 21 yards. That's when sometimes a ball carrier will get impatient. You have to have patience, find your holes, and then explode. If you get frustrated, then it hurts you even more.
So the late seconds of the first half and the early seconds of the second half have really damaged the Cougars as the Huskies have jumped out to a 19-7 lead. The ball is at the 44-yard line where it is second down and 6. And they spread about 5 wideouts. Gesser's passes are way, and it is thrown well behind the intended receiver. Might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
It was intended for McElrath, who still doesn't have a catch. And he threw to the outside. McElrath broke to the end. It was a miscommunication. Here's where they excel, though. These are pretty good numbers. 8 of 12, 75 yards and a touchdown. And this team right here leads the Pac-10 in third down conversions.
Well, they better get on the first page, the same page pretty soon.
Just one of six today.
Yeah. All at the 44. Crowd coming up. Gesser Chase pulls out and takes off. Dives for the marker and looked like he got there. This is also what got him whacked on last week and hurt.
It's a great effort,
That's a
though.
first down.
That is a great effort. Talk about a guy who is scratching and clawing and just trying to make something happen. He had the concussion last week. Who cares? He's running the football. Then look at the effort to get to the first down marker. Got a favorable mark and they moved the chains. Boy, that's special from Jason Gesser.
Ball's right on the 50-yard line.
Checking off. He's got to hurry, though.
Deeper drop this time. Pass to throw to the sidelines. It is caught. McElrath makes his first catch of the day.
Here's what he was checking to. He didn't have the whole field spread with a lot of receivers, but he did have one-on-one coverage out here. He looked at that, and as soon as he saw the lock-on with Chris Massey, 28, he says, I'm going to McElrath. I'm taking my guy.
34 yards on the play. First down Cougars, Husky 16-yard line.
This is where they like to go to Bush.
Pitch it back to Minnick. Coming around the left side and almost broke out of there and found Hallelujah land. But Omari Lowe makes one more play for the Huskies. He's had a great season. He gained 5 yards on the carry. The ball just short of the 11-yard line. McElrath just came off the field. They got Bush going wide to the top of the picture.
He's their touchdown getter.
Swing it back this way. Ball is caught by Minnick out of the backfield. A little swing play, and he gets inside the 10 to the 7. He's close to his first down marker, but not quite.
Morgan Stanley, well-connected storyline. You look at Washington State in the pass yards, and they don't have that today. And then, of course, Washington has been able to pass the ball.
McElrath is back now. It's third down and 1 for a first down at the 7. Ball is handed to Tippins, and Tippins is hit before he got to the line of scrimmage, but it looks like he may have the first. They give him a mark right around the 6. This may require the change.
Offensive coordinator Mike Levenseller's got to be remembering the last time they were down here, they had first and goal from the 5, ran it 4 straight times and gained 4 yards, didn't get the touchdown, and Washington went 99 yards with it. Did not throw a pass the last time they were down here. I guarantee you that'll change this time.
Well, they're going to be looking at fourth down unless they've got the first here. It looked like a good spot.
I thought he had it, yeah.
It looked like a good spot. Got it. Next Saturday, ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast, presented by Siemens, starts at 10 o'clock in the morning out here on the West Coast. Ohio State at Michigan. And then at 5 Pacific, Washington at Miami. And some of you will see Notre Dame and Stanford at Stanford. So the ball is on the 6. It is first and goal to go for the Cougars. They were here early in the ball game at first and goal on the 5. And Bush goes to the top of the screen. He's way up there to the right. They're going to run it. Whoa, Buffalo! Ball's rolling around. Huskies pick it up. Madavi recovered it. The Cougars are shooting themselves in the foot. They've had 3 huge mistakes in the last 6 minutes. First half and beginning of this one.
You don't see this very often from Jason Gesser. He's a big-time player. Doesn't make many mistakes. Certainly doesn't turn the ball over. But it was a blindside hit. He never saw it coming. Look out, Huskies.
A million uses and counting. The new 210 horsepower supercharged Nissan Xterra. Still everything you need, nothing you don't.
It's new, a flame-grilled top sirloin, marinated Cajun shrimp, and a great price, $8.99. Chili surf and sirloin. We're having some fun now.
Hey, Hallie Eisenberg, drinking a Pepsi.
Actually, this isn't a Pepsi. It's new Pepsi Twist with lemon. And I'm not Hallie Eisenberg.
I'm Halle Berry. Drinking Pepsi Twist.
Well, it's not exactly Pepsi Twist. It's Diet Pepsi Twist. And I'm not exactly Halle Berry.
You know?
I'm Barry Bostwick.
Who is Barry Bostwick?
Like twists? Try new Pepsi Twist in regular and diet. A lemon twist on that great Pepsi taste.
Those must have been some cookies you left, Santa.
I didn't leave them cookies. I left them cheese.
Ah, the power of cheese. It's new, a flame-grilled top sirloin, marinated Cajun shrimp, and a great price, $8.99. Chili surf and sirloin. We're having some fun now.
Defending champs Tiger Woods and David Duval team up again for the USA in the World Golf Championships. EMC World Cup next on ABC.
Washington comes out now. The ball at the 21-yard line. The Cougars turned away for the second time deep near the Husky goal line. Arnold, the man in motion. Pickett turns and gives to Willie Hurst, running for the far side and gets up to the 25. Jason David tracked him down.
Keith, we look at that last play, and this actually was a broken play. You watch this guy and this guy, they're pulling. Here's your running back supposed to go up in here, but watch, he slips at the snap of the ball. Slip. Now, Gesser just tucks it away and looks for help. When he goes upside, then he's hit from behind by Carruthers, and the ball comes loose. Never saw it coming, but it was definitely a broken play after Minnick slipped.
Second down, they call it 6. Stop it, dead ball foul, movement, and looked like the Husky line. One of the linemen wiggled.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty.
Cougars are killing themselves. They had a first and goal on the 5, didn't score. Had a first and goal on the 6 and fumbled it away. Had the mistake at the end of the half on returning the ball deep out of the end zone, fumbled it away, and provided that second field goal. So somebody ought to say, boys, the Huskies don't need any help.
Yeah, and the other thing this game has had, 14 penalties.
But that's typical of a rivalry game, I think. There's Ferber. Pickett is back and throwing. And he missed it. Todd Elstrom, the man under the ball, and had no chance to catch it. Thrown well beyond him.
Home field advantage means so much in college football now. You have to come in and almost play flawlessly. If you look at Washington State and the miscues today, 3 fumbles, 7 penalties for 75 yards. And as you mentioned, both times down and inside the 10, and they come away 0 for 2. You know, you just can't do that on the road and expect to win.
Third down, about 10.5. Pickett has time and throws, and it's completed to Arnold, and it's a first down. Arnold got between the defender and the ball. It was David, and he made the catch. Jason David's had a rough day.
Yeah, and it's one of those deals where David has to be thinking, what else can I do? He's got pretty good coverage. And the thing is, Pickett looks at him the whole time. Never comes off of him. Throws to Arnold. But look, David's behind him, and Arnold uses his body so well to keep him behind him. Just like a pick in basketball. Just kind of shielded him off for the pass and made the reception, and they moved the chains.
Little thing over the middle to the tight end, Jeremy Stevens, and they gang up on him and stop him quickly. But he got a dandy mark on it. They give him all the way out to the 40 to the 38.
Here he is, just going to slide right under the linebackers. As soon as they move and they start blitzing, he gets behind them. And they get him, and again, he's a 6'7" target. But where is Reggie?
He's coming right at you, coming toward the near sideline.
Here is Reggie Williams.
Second down and 6. Pump, going for Williams. Got it again, went right through the hands of a defender, Trufant, and Williams reels it in his 10th catch of the day. And here's John.
This is your Burger King update. Oklahoma facing Texas Tech. Nate Hibble in the pocket. Just a little toss to Antoine Savage, who just waltzes into the end zone. And Oklahoma stretches the lead now to 20-10. About 8 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Ball is on the 49-yard line here at Husky Stadium. First down for Washington. They lead 19-7, and they are taking control of the football game. This is Willie Hurst trying to bounce outside. The Cougar defense, Billy Newman, gets him short of the line of scrimmage by 2 yards.
You don't want to completely get away from your passing game because that's what's been working today. I mean, the passing game has been phenomenal, 273 yards. But at the same time, you want to be able to run the ball better than they've done today, 18 yards, because now you've got to start melting the clock, shortening the game, put the pressure on Washington State.
Time remaining in the third quarter, 6:40. See him ticking away up there, the red little box.
And it's Reggie time again.
Second and 12. There he is. That's 11 catches today. Not much on that one, but still a catch.
You know, he was a freshman, and they were making the guys out of high school, the true freshmen, get up, and they'd have to do certain things. And they asked him, do you think you're the best receiver here? He says, I think I'm the best guy in this room. Washington Huskies all looked at each other. But, you know, he may be right.
Illinois has been a surprise to me this year. Boy, they're pretty good. 9-1. Only Michigan beat them. Pickett, look, throw quick. Ball popped in the air, rolling around, and goes down on the ground at about the 45-yard line, and it's incomplete forward pass. Boy, he threw that into a hot box there, and it could have been picked off.
He did, and you have to wonder why they went away from Reggie Williams. If they haven't stopped him yet, why not keep throwing at him?
The last 2 punts, remember now, have been partially blocked. McLaughlin, big leg. Not a very good kick. Cougar coming up to get it, fumbles the ball, and gets on top of it. Eric Coleman almost gave that one away. My goodness, we got a flag.
And it's against the Cougars for running into the kicker.
Wow. That's automatic first down.
Isn't that what he called? Maybe that's not what he called. Well, if they ran into the kicker, it's 5 yards.
If it's roughing, it's different.
Oh, but it was 4th and 6, yeah, so he wouldn't have. if it's running into him. Still, you might want to think about going for it, a 4th and 1.
He looks like Jim's showing 5 yards.
Yeah, so that brings up 4th and 1. Got a 19-7 lead. You take a chance here to
running into
close the door.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 4th down.
See, there's a difference on that call. It's a running into or roughing, and they call this one running into. Acholanu. Sort of pushed into it.
That's all right. It doesn't make any difference. It's your responsibility, even if he blocks you into the kicker, it's your responsibility not to make contact. Now that brings up 4th and 1. I think here I would go for it with a 19-7 lead. You're playing at home, 5:34 in the third. Try to close the door on your rival.
What's they going to do?
Well, they get the crowd in it, I'll guarantee you.
Hurst is the deep man. He's got it. Slips and falls down. They don't get it. When Willie saw his hole, made his cut, lost his footing. There's been a lot of slipping on that side of the field today. There have been several people slide over there and fall down. So it must be soft from all the rain, but they lose an opportunity there. Big time chance for the Cougars coming up.
How can you provide for the future of the people who depend on you? With the power of Pacific Life. For over 130 years, Pacific Life has improved the lives of millions with investments, annuities, and insurance. Because careful planning today can help them reach their dreams tomorrow. Discover the power of Pacific Life.
Introducing the tough new crew cab long bed. It's the next frontier.
For his first attempt, a 360 tomahawk.
Introducing new Tostitos scoops.
Amazing. And now the alley-oop reverse.
With the bite-sized bowl-shaped design.
Oh my. And what everyone's been waiting for, the two-handed thunder.
For the perfect dip every time.
Oh, the judges have to be impressed.
New Tostitos scoops. The dip lover's chip. Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
19-7 score. The Huskies just missed on a 4th and 1 try. And now Washington State possesses the ball at their own 44-yard line. So if they're going to make a move in this ball game, it would seem to me it's got to come right about here.
Well, it sure gives the Cougars a lot of momentum. They came off the field very excited after making that 4th down stop.
John Tippins is the running back. Gesser looked at him, now throws it down the middle. Passes, looks like it caught all right, but it doesn't amount to much. It's only a 2-yard pickup with Jeremy Thielbar, the tight end.
Well, this game certainly has had everything. And if we look at the Pacific Life game summary, right at the end of the second quarter, just before the half, this fumble became huge. David let it go, and the Huskies got 3 points out of it. That gave them the lead. Then you start the second half. Here comes another fumble. This time Minnick lets it go. And that turns in to a Hurst touchdown. So you're right about the Cougars shooting themselves in the foot, but they've got a little bit of a momentum and adrenaline swing right here.
2nd down and 8. Pitch the ball back to Tippins. And Tippins searching for some daylight. Gets it up to the 50-yard line. So they're looking at 3rd down and 3+. Wash on that tackle. Both these programs are pretty deep in talent for next year, too.
Yeah, I just can't be sold on the fact that the Washington defense has taken McElrath away all day long.
Nope, I don't either.
They haven't even looked at him. Here he is at the bottom of the screen, haven't even looked his way.
Gesser pulls it down and tries to run for it, and he can't get it. He saw that crack and nobody behind it. But the offensive lineman couldn't punch him a hole big enough, and Anthony Kelly brings him down. And it's 4th and short. It's like 4th and 2. Maybe 1.
Well, now it's Mike Price that has to make a decision, because he's finding himself up against it as time becomes short with 3:40 left to go in the third quarter. Yep. And I think Gesser's hurt. Gesser's carrying his left arm just hanging. He's hurt. Remember at the beginning of the game we said it's not who starts but who finishes in a game like this.
Yep. Well, the question is, does Cagle warm up? That'll tell you. Meantime, the Cougars are going to punt it away. Cox wants to kill it deep, but he's got too much on it, and it's going to go to the end zone. Flies into the end zone. Meantime, we're waiting to see whether or not Gesser is damaged goods. Right now, he's being administered to on the bench.
1-800-MEDIC.
I'd be very happy to.
Right, half pepperoni and half... oh, hello. I'm here at 1-800-MEDICARE, where important questions are being answered. Hold the mail. Questions about Medicare health plans, nursing homes, and supplemental insurance. Some even ask, how does switching plans affect my coverage? Although my coverage is none of their business. So call the experts, like Raymond here, 24 days a week, 8 days a night.
1-800-MEDICARE. Helping you help yourself.
You're gonna fall in love with the new grilled sourdough bacon cheeseburger at Burger King. Indulge your craving in a hot, delicious quarter-pound of flame-broiled beef with melted Swiss cheese and 4 strips of crispy bacon stacked up on 2 slices of grilled sourdough bread. It's for a limited time, so head over to Burger King today and get ready to fall in love.
I won a Nintendo GameCube with Luigi's Mansion, Wave Race Blue Storm, and Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Pikmin.
This holiday season, let Dr. Pepper play Santa by giving away thousands of incredible new Nintendo GameCubes. Look on specially marked packages for your chance to win instantly.
I know what this is.
Quit messing around. Let's go.
The Nintendo GameCube giveaway, only from Dr. Pepper.
Thanksgiving night, see Mick Jagger as you've never seen him before. Being Mick, Thanksgiving night at 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
The Huskies lead 19-7. The story right now, Jason Gesser, as he came off the field, he took a shot to his left shoulder by Green of the Huskies. He went down, the training staff looked at him. Luckily, it's not his throwing shoulder, and the trainer just told me it's a stinger on his left shoulder. He says he's good to go. He's going to come back and play in the next series. Keith.
All right, here comes Washington now. Run some time off the clock if they can. Nobody behind Cody Pickett. He's going to drop it in the air quickly to Rich Alexis, and Alexis will get across the 30 and pick up a first down.
It's a high percentage play. The running game's not there, Keith, so go ahead and dink and dunk it a little bit. Get your running backs, your tight end, everybody involved in the game, and throw these high percentage short passes.
Key has killed the clock.
Yeah, sure. It's like basketball on grass.
31-yard line. Inside 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Alexis.
Ball's loose. Cougars have it.
Cougars have it. They recover the football just over the 40-yard line. So both teams having trouble holding on to it as the Huskies give it away. Keith Font stuck his hand in there and knocked it loose, it looked like. Got a piece of the action.
Trying to make that cut, slides outside, gets stripped from behind. Lucky he didn't get hurt, came down on the ball awkwardly, but a terrific turn of events. And Keith, you've seen a million of these games between Washington and Washington State. Can you remember one that's been this sloppy?
Yes.
Well, I guess any game like this, it's a rival game, high emotion, you're going to have these kind of mistakes.
Absolutely. That was James Price that hit him from behind and knocked it loose, number 5. From the 40, Gesser back in the game, runs away from the pressure. Now throws the ball, and it's incomplete. He had 3 men on that side. Rock Alexander makes a good play. There was a receiver beyond everybody, and he couldn't get it to him.
Yesterday, we sat in the coaches' offices here at the University of Washington, and we talked to Tim Hundley, the defensive coordinator. And he said the thing we really want to do defensively is to get Jason Gesser throwing on the run, because he's not as strong-armed when he's throwing on the run as when he plants and lets it go. Well, boy, they had him on the run that time and almost made the pick.
And they haven't had 4-man pressure. The Huskies haven't much of the season, and that has hurt them some. But that time they got some inside pressure. Forced him to run. Gesser gets it away to the sidelines. The pass is caught by Bush. And here's the penalty flag.
Yeah, it's a late hit, and it's going to be on Green, Roderick Green. And that is called spearing, and that's illegal.
If it's spearing, it's 15.
Dead ball. Helmet-to-helmet contact, defense, 15-yard penalty.
And the reason I know that is because I probably had more of those than anybody in the country. Not proud of it, but you're trying to be aggressive. You don't know if the guy's down or not. Watch number 9 coming in here late. Now Bush goes down. Here comes 9. Boom! That's called a spear, and it's illegal.
And he's on the sidelines in a hurry. So it's first down now for the Cougars. The ball down at the 17-yard line of Washington. 2:18 to play in the third quarter. 19-7, Huskies lead. 5 wideouts, 3 at the top of the picture. Looking to the left, goes to the left, and it's dropped. Mike Bush dropped it, and he was wide open. There wasn't anybody near him, and he was good for at least 10 yards on the play.
He's 6'6". Everybody talks about what a great leaper he is in the jump ball, but this is a really nice spin move. He worked it earlier and he got open. This time he did it to get open, and he just did not watch the ball into his hands.
The Cougars have not done well on this end of the field.
I'm still waiting for McElrath.
Pressure, passes away. There's your jump ball, and he can't get to it. Bush stumbled a little bit, covered by Omari Lowe, and he never regained his balance, and he couldn't get to it.
He's been getting beaten up all day. Jason Gesser's taking hits. We talked about the last 3 weeks he's been getting pulverized, and he is here today. You can't let your quarterback get hit this much. This is why Mike Price was so concerned, teaching him to slide, teaching him to get away, throw the ball away. But he's been getting pounded.
It is third down and 10. And the Cougars are close to frittering away another opportunity. Gesser's pass is completed. It goes to Riley. And Riley's at the 5. First and goal, Cougars at the Washington 5. That sounds familiar.
It sure does. And Jerome Riley was not going to be denied. I mean, he was doing everything he could to get open that time. Good job by Riley. Five plays, 35 yards. Nissan drive summary shows that the clock continues to move.
Running down inside a minute in the third quarter pretty soon. They'll come up. This will be probably the ball right on the 5. And here they're going to throw it out. He takes off to run it. He loses 2 yards. Omari Lowe coming on a blitz from the right corner spot. And Gesser pulling the ball down, seeing a little crack, thinking there's something behind it. Now he's limping.
That was a big gamble on the part of Washington, coming right in this way. Right out of there like a rocket. You bring your corner back on a blitz. Very, very big gamble, especially if they pass that way.
Gesser felt him coming too. He saw him coming, so that's the reason he pulled the ball down. But there was no room behind the crack. And it's second down. And penalty flags all over the place. Boy, they just come unglued down here.
That's delay of game. I think Mike Price is going to.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Composure. Here's John Saunders.
Well, it's supposed to be an easy day for Stanford against Cal, but again in these rivalry games, Terrell Williams from a yard out takes it in for the touchdown. Cal pulls to within 1 point at 21-20. Keith.
My goodness.
All right, the ball is back now at the 13-yard line.
Hey, Keith,
second down.
McElrath in the huddle that time was screaming at Gesser to look for him.
Swing it out to Minnick. He wants to throw. It's intercepted. Rock Alexander. Minnick was hit as he threw, and Rock Alexander intercepted it. Well, the Huskies are just whipping them in the trenches now. They own the line of scrimmage.
McElrath wanted it, and they were trying to get it to him. This was a pass to McElrath, but tremendous pressure. The ball got knocked. Here's McElrath, and this is the intended receiver, and he was open. But because of the pressure, they knocked the pass, and that caused the pick.
It was Anthony Kelly that made the defensive play.
Look at that. He had no chance of getting that ball away.
Wow. That's the third time they've been down at the first and goal at the 5, first and goal at the 6, first and goal at the 5. Nothing. And we will have the time expire at the end of the third quarter on that note as Washington leads Washington State 19-7. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
The 240 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder.
I'm Dell Enterprise. Servers, storage, and premier services. Sure, I keep your critical apps up and running. Microsoft, i2, SAP. But first I work with you directly to preload and pre-test them so they scream from day one. How fast can I deploy your critical apps? How fast can you plug me in? Rapid deployment, maximum uptime. Easy as Dell. Dell PowerEdge servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
Ohio State faces Michigan next Saturday at 1 Eastern on ABC.
Hi. This looks good. That'd be the Thanks. Come on.
Polaris. It's not just a sled, it's a priority. Pay $79 per month or see your dealer for nothing down, no payments, and no interest until April 2002.
BMW, the ultimate driving machine. A superb combination of European engineering and driving excitement. Now at Hahn BMW, we've added a whole new dimension. Affordability. We are now featuring BMW factory cars. These are one-year-old BMWs, mostly never titled, and all with BMW's legendary 50,000-mile warranty. Test drive this BMW 323i. It has every luxury option for only $28,990. We're dealing at Hahn BMW.
You're watching KAPP ABC, Yakima.
Well, if you're a Cougar fan, you don't want to read this. Turn your head. But that's the summation of the game right there. It's just been bad decisions to all of that. And that's why it's a 19-7 ball game. Huskies leading. And they held the ball back as we start the fourth quarter of play on 2nd down and 5 from their own 17-yard line. Ball is thrown quickly to the sideline. The pass is completed. It is short, I thought, of the first down. It looks to me like that linesman has walked him all the way past the marker. That's not a good mark. Here's John Saunders.
Well, Keith, we told you that Cal was trying to pull a big upset at Stanford. Didn't take long for the Cardinal to come back. Chris Lewis to Luke Powell. Powell does all the work, 80 yards down the sideline for the touchdown. So Stanford opens up a little breathing room right now, leading it 28-20. Keith.
Well, Stanford's always got one of those little guys that can outrun daylight. Man. Ball is good for the first down up to the 22-yard line. I thought that was generous. But whatever. Clock is rolling along now. The Huskies leading 19-7. Want to run that thing down to the 4. And right now, Cody Pickett has called timeout to come to the sidelines and talk to Steve Axman on the right there, the quarterback coach, as his head coach listens.
Over the years, we've gathered some of the brightest stars in insurance and investments, plus some of the brightest stars in securities brokerage and financial services. And we put them all together into one extraordinary company. Today, that company has a proud new name, Prudential Financial, growing and protecting your wealth.
Great. Credit card bill.
Look at these fees.
Honey?
One rate for purchases, higher rate for cash advances, and those telemarketers.
Relax. We switched to Capital One's new no-hassle card.
Introducing Capital One's new no-hassle Platinum Card. No balance transfer fees, no telemarketing, one low fixed rate.
Honey?
What's in your wallet?
Impala. My dad had one of these.
Really? Wow.
I just have some very nice memories from that car.
Did his have the smoke lenses in the front? Rear deck spoiler, 200 horsepower, V6 engine,
16-inch aluminum wheel. Well, I just love that they brought the Impala back.
Whenever you call me. Chevy Impala LS. The feeling never fades. You're gonna love it.
This is my car.
Impala. We'll be there.
That was fun. Hey, would you be my big, strong watchdog and guard my Bud Light like I go to the ladies' room?
Woof. Woof, baby.
Hey, let's touch it.
Hey, dog, what's going on?
Oh, you got moves. Lily, you got moves. Stop. Go.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
It ain't that bad.
Big Blue shut out the Vikes last season. Now Michael Strahan looks to repeat while Randy Moss aims to turn the tables. Giants, Vikings, Monday Night Football at 9, 6 Pacific.
Huskies ball, 22-yard lines. First down and 10. Going to try to run it. Willie Hurst is the tailback. Walker is the fullback. Pickett gives it to Willie. And Willie makes a good cut. Comes across. And wait till he quits walking before I call it here. And put it on the 27-yard line. Tackled by Noway.
Second down, 5 yards toward the Huskies.
Husky running game is that's pretty nil, isn't it?
Well, you know what, though? They found something, and that was Reggie Williams. They kept going to him. Washington State couldn't stop him, so why go away from him?
Absolutely. That's the nature of the beast. It's the way the game's played. Back to the tailback, Hurst. And he's down to the 30-yard line. Miami with a big run on Syracuse in Miami.
They're making a statement after last week. They took so much verbal abuse from just getting by Boston College, and they were lucky to get by with that interception, but Yeah, they made a statement today. This will give the Huskies a little bit momentum if they can win here today and then go down to Miami.
They're going to be sore, though.
Sure they will.
This is Willie going outside. Willie Hurst got his first down. He's really good at that because when he gets outside like that and gets you strung out and plants and turns on you, he usually does it with a tremendous velocity.
Well, he runs like a chicken on a June bug. I mean, he's hard to tackle and get a good shot at.
That's fun unless you're the June bug.
That's right.
First down up at the 34-yard line, and the clock just inexorably marches along.
Well, 3 straight runs.
13 minutes now. Washington State's got a 4-man front. Pickett goes back to throw and throws, and it is caught. It is caught by Kevin Ware, tight end. But he's a little bit short of the first down by a yard.
Of course, here's what we were talking about next week. And you're right, partner. They will be sore going down there, but certainly they'll walk into Miami with a lot of confidence, 2-0 against Miami all time.
Well, they'll show Miami a little more vigor probably than they've seen at times this season. This is a good football team, this Washington Bucks. I'll tell you, they hang around.
And you know what they've got? They've got speed.
Yep, quick speed. And they're stubborn.
Here comes the blitz, and Pickett sees it. Now that's a delay of game because he tried to change plays and the clock ran out on him.
There's a lot of things to do.
Dead ball, delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Ah, look at that.
You know, if Washington's passing continues this much, 305 yards, if he has a pretty good week next week, they're going to have a new school record per game passing average. They've had great quarterbacks here over the years. Gary Conklin holds the record. But think of the guys that have played here. Sonny Sixkiller passed for 1 million yards. Warren Moon and on, the Hewards, and it just goes and goes and goes. But this sophomore right here, see his average.
That's pretty good stuff right there, isn't it?
Yeah. Going again, little drill right into the chest of Pat Reddick, and it's a first down. And he's picking the Cougars apart now, leading 19-7 with 11:49 to play in the game.
Well, you know, you talked about some of the great quarterbacks here and how Cody Pickett lines up with them. Boy, he does play with confidence, and he's just tough. And he finds a passing lane, and he hits it. But how about some of the quarterbacks that have played in this Apple Cup and come away? I mean, guys like Billy Joe Hobart, you mentioned Marcus Tuiasosopo, Don Heinrich, Warren Moon, as you mentioned. Some pretty good names there.
Yep. Well, you go to the other side, and you got a Rippon, Rosenbaugh,
Drew Bledsoe, Jack Thompson,
Leaf, all those guys, throwing Samoan. There's a loss on that play. Good pursuit that time as the Cougars' Billy Norman finally got into the hunt for Willie Hurst and got him right at the line of scrimmage.
See, Washington State now has to start feeling a sense of urgency. They're down to 11 minutes to play in this ball game.
I got news for him. It was urgent a long time ago. Washington collapsed last week. No question. Oregon State laid a whipping on them. They stood up today. There's the pump and there's the throw. The man's open. The pass is caught. It's Elstrom. Todd Elstrom. Big play. That's probably your ball game right there.
The thing about Todd Elstrom is that he hasn't been involved in this ball game. That's his first catch. So they aren't really expecting much out of him. But he runs a little hitch and go. Boy, that freezes David for just that second. Then the ball is just perfectly thrown. You talked about Pickett having a great game. That ball, he doesn't even have to break stride, and he catches it.
And it's good for 48 yards. And it's first down and goal Washington on the Washington State 7-yard line. 10.5 minutes to go in the game. Pickett rides it, pitches, Hurst, and Willie's knocked out at the 7. He bellied with the fullback, and then pitched it outside.
Well, if they score here, it's Katie bar the door. Washington's used all of their weapons today. Everybody talked about Reggie Williams, what a first half he had, and he had 11 receptions, 203 yards in the ball game. Arnold, 2 receptions. Stevens, who comes back from an injury, he has 4 as the big tight end. Now Todd Elstrom, who's been quiet all day, gets his first reception, and it's a big one for 48 yards. So Cody Pickett using everybody in the arsenal. And there's Reggie Williams.
Coming to the bottom of your picture as we go wide here. Williams down closest to you. And he's looking the other way, and it's batted away incomplete. Good defensive play. Intended for Ken Walker coming out of the backfield. And that play was made by Randall Smith for Washington State.
Yeah, see, that's your fullback, and you put him out as a receiver, kind of put him in motion, swing him wide, and then look back that way. But, well, I think at this time down here in the red zone, you're ready to slam the door. Go to the guy that's been making catches every which way, and that's Reggie Williams. Of course, you know what they like to do down here is go to the big tight end. He's just hadn't been in the ball game in the last several ball games.
Over the middle, touchdown, Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, they like to go to him. He hadn't been there lately, but he's there today.
And the Huskies just put this one in the locker box. 12 plays that go 88 yards.
Well, we say they like to go to the tight end there, just find the open area. And that, of course, means Stevens. Find the open area, hitting 6'7", touchdown.
He could catch cold. He was so alone. Penalty flag thrown as the kick goes through. But let's see about the flag before we count it. Washington State was offside. They decline it. It is good.
Elstrom with the first catch. Stevens with the second. Take it home, Washington. Huskies big.
26-7 with 10:23 to go in the game.
Cars you can depend on. The cars that last.
You never had to look too far.
Chevy. We'll be there. (26-7) Huskies, and Jeremy Stevens broke a foot in the Idaho game way back in September. Finally getting it well enough to come back and play, and he's had a good day.
3 receptions this year. It comes out today, 5 big ones. That's his first touchdown of the season, but he's a big-time receiver.
High hanger. Way back into the end zone, and this one they won't return, and it's a little late. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy. The cars you can depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there. Burger King, home of the Whopper. Prudential Financial, a rock-solid leader in financial services. Prudential Financial to help you grow and protect your wealth. And Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. Who's driving your boat, Timmy?
Oh, isn't that sweet? Oh, my.
Glad you own it and not me. Gesser holds it down, takes off, going to get whammered again. Pick up 3 yards. He pulled it down very quickly. Conclusion to the game. We'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevy making a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
I know the folks up in the Palouse are screaming at the television set, but this is a fine football team. They just hurt themselves today.
Killed themselves. First and goal at the 6, 5 twice and 6 once and nothing from it. Pass is thrown underneath. Pass is completed to Riley, but Riley's tackled immediately and a yard short of the first down.
You have to go all the way back to that 4th and 1 for Washington State and the great defensive stand. That play was sensational. Then they had another opportunity. Gesser, broken play, he fumbles. They get inside the 10 again. They get hit from behind, the interception. 7 goal-to-goal plays today, resulting in minus 13 yards, 0 points.
That'll get you beaten. And it has. This is Dave Minnick. And he lays the leather on him and picks up a first down.
They've got to hurry. They've got to get up. They've got to get back to the line of scrimmage. Even though they're down 26-7. You got 8:52 in this ball game. They can't lay down now. Gesser's got to have a sense of urgency, get them in the huddle, out of the huddle, and get the play going. Everything now is like a hurry-up offense, 2-minute drill.
Go no huddle. Why not?
They're just taking their time. Play clock's down to 10.
That's good to Riley. Breaks a tackle. Fumbles the ball. Goes out of bounds. Cougars keep it.
And it'll be a first down. Move the ball. Move the chains. I'm just surprised that they're all walking around.
They're tired.
Do you remember when Cody Pickett's team was driving and they were getting first downs at the end of the first half? And he'd get them up, they'd move the chains, and as soon as they put it back in play, ran the play.
Yep.
It's like the Stabler rule. They're saying you can't fumble forward and get a first. So they're going to measure, bring it back to where he fumbled it.
He may not have it, but they do that.
Well, that's why they're going to measure. It looks like he is a little bit short. Bit close.
He does not have it. Friday, ABC Sports Thanksgiving Feast presented by Siemens kicks off at 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. Texas A&M. And then at 12:30 Pacific, Nebraska goes down to Boulder to play the Colorado Buffaloes.
It's one of those deals where they really should have 2 plays called. Could just come up, quarterback sneaky, get the first, line up again, and take your shot.
8:25 to play in the game.
Now the clock starts moving.
Second down and 1. They've got the field spread, and they pick up the first down.
Okay, there's your quarterback sneak now. He's got to get him up and get him going again. Clock stops as they move the chains.
If a Husky is on top of the ball carrier, though, he's not going to get up until somebody pushes him.
But the clock won't start until they move the chains anyway, and here they do now. The clock gets going again.
First and 10. The ball is at the 47. Coming up on 8 minutes even to play. Spread again. Ball's away, and it is long gone incomplete. The Huskies just laid their ears back and came at him and forced him to throw early.
You know, at halftime, it was Mike Price who said, we're the ones that should be having all the success throwing the ball. We're the passing team. You look at his weapons. McElrath, who came into this ball game with 62 receptions, has 1 today. Tippins, Bush. Bush had the touchdown, obviously, and Minnick has 15 carries, 32 yards. Very, very quiet, top to bottom, all the weapons for the Cougars.
Bush is at the top of the picture. Gesser's pass to the sidelines intended for Field Bar is incomplete.
Well, he just looks shaky, doesn't he, Keith, right now?
Yep. Looks like he's hurting.
Well, you know he is.
This is a little salt on the wound, this kind of performance at the end of the season. It's a cruncher. 7:45 to play in the game. Gesser back. Passes away. He's thrown an incompletion. Thrown behind the receiver again.
And again, Gesser's on his butt.
Just leveled him.
Came with a safety blitz. And again, Gesser ends up on his behind. Whoa. Last 3 games, he has just been blasted.
4th and 10 coming up, and they're going to go. I bet you Tim Huntley sends half the team right at Gesser. Passes away and caught by the receiver Colin Henderson, but caught as he was falling down, and he's 8 yards short of the first down. And so the Cougars turn it over. The Huskies have the football in the middle of the field. You've got 7 minutes and 34 seconds to play in the ball game. 26-7 lead Washington.
Impala. My dad had one of these.
Really? Wow.
I just have some very nice memories from that car.
Did his have the smoke lenses in the front? Rear deck spoiler, 200 horsepower, V6 engine,
16-inch aluminum wheel. Well, I just love that they brought the Impala back.
Whenever you call me.
Chevy Impala LS. The feeling never fades.
You're gonna love it.
This is my car.
Impala. We'll be there.
You're gonna fall in love with the new grilled sourdough bacon cheeseburger at Burger King. Indulge your craving in a hot, delicious quarter-pound of flame-broiled beef with melted Swiss cheese and 4 strips of crispy bacon stacked up on 2 slices of grilled sourdough bread. It's for a limited time, so head over to Burger King today and get ready to fall in love.
A lightweight step stool that still holds up to 300 pounds. Get the Easy Step from Rubbermaid.
Your search for the right financial partner brings you to the Pacific Life family of companies, managing more than $300 billion in assets. Discover the power of Pacific Life.
ABC Sunday, Daddy's got some explaining to do.
I think we have them all.
She's searching for the truth in a web of lies.
I'm gonna make you pay.
A new Alias, ABC Sunday, 9/8 Central.
Wolf is right. 7:34 to play in the ball game, a 19-point Washington lead, and they have the ball in the middle of the field on the Washington State 48-yard line. First down after the Cougars failed to convert on 4th and 10. And the poise of Pickett has been very promising here in this second half. Ball goes to Willie Hurst. Well, what a good defensive play that was by Jeremy Williams. If the Huskies win this ball game, and it'll be astounding if they don't, Oregon is going to clinch the BCS berth in the Pac-10 and go to the Fiesta Bowl as champions out of the Pac-10. So the Ducks, I'm sure now, are beginning to thinking about dancing a little tonight. But on the first day of December, the Beavers are coming to town.
Dangerous, dangerous Oregon State club.
This is Willie Hurst fighting for whatever he can get. So remember this, if Washington winning this game, then all Oregon has to do is win their game to go to the Fiesta Bowl. It is that simple.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. We'll check back with you, Washington State, in a moment, but we want to take you in for some bonus coverage right now. Michigan and Wisconsin tied at 17 apiece. There's a little more than a minute left. Michigan with the ball and marching for perhaps a go-ahead field goal.
We welcome those of you who just joined us now. This is third down. We're in a tie game. Last minute between Wisconsin and Michigan. John Navarre, the Wolverine quarterback, snaps it off Marquise Walker. No first down. No first down. Not in field goal range yet. Broussard, the defensive back, working on Marquise.
Wisconsin needs to use their timeout. They need to use their timeout and stop the clock. Maybe they block a punt here. It's fourth down. Navarre, remember, he's a punter. We have seen the tape that Jack showed us. Michigan will let the clock run down all the way. They're going to keep their offense out there. Great strategy from Michigan. Look at that. Just stay there. We'll punt after the delay of game.
It's almost as though Alvarez says, let's go to OT.
Well, he wasn't sure. He didn't want to take that time out and give Michigan another chance because Michigan bluffed them by keeping their offense out there.
So Epstein, the all-purpose kicker, trots onto the field for the punt.
Now you got to have 11 men on the field. No mistakes now.
They're going to send nobody deep on this punt. They send nobody deep. They're not going to risk a fumble. They're going to let Epstein punt it away. Oh, man. And it's dashing in. Hold on now. Hold on now. If the punt hit him, it was live down there, and Brandon Williams scooped it up.
It's not a
14 seconds. 14 seconds. Michigan ball inside the 15. The field judge is there. Oh my goodness, what a mental mistake.
Brett Bell should not even be blocking down there.
The kick was touched by the receiving team and recovered by the kicking team. By rule, the ball is dead where recovered. First down.
Watch number 13 down there. He's blocking. He doesn't need to even be anywhere near there. There's no return on. A bad mistake by the young freshman, a true freshman in the game, and it hits him. A mental mistake of all mental mistakes.
And now Hayden Epstein with that final timeout being called, and you can just imagine how distraught the Wisconsin sideline is right now. They are just beside themselves with what just happened in this situation, and Alvarez knows he's got just a slim chance, very slim, of blocking this one. Now, one more time, you will see the young defensive back, number 13, and clearly the ball is going to come off his leg right there, the right leg. Yep. Williams alertly reaches down to pick it up, and it is Wolverine ball where he recovered it at the 13-yard line, and now Epstein for what could be the game winner with 14 seconds to go.
I really got to say, we've seen freshmen, true freshmen, the last 2 weeks make critical mistakes at the end of the game. You wonder if Barry and Kevin Cosgrove had to do it over again if they just wouldn't keep their regular defense in the game. There are 11 starting defensive players. Why do you have a true freshman on the field to make a huge mental mistake? And if he kicks this ball through the uprights, they're going to win the game.
You can watch it. It's a 31-yarder with 14 seconds. Got it. Michigan leads it. 20 20-17, 10 seconds to go.
A disaster on the kicking game for Wisconsin today, an absolute disaster.
It was the difference in the game. 2 blocked punts, then a botched return, 2 other punts that were partially blocked. Special teams, the difference, and Epstein drills the field goal after Neuser missed one at the other side.
Lloyd Carr, same stance as Alvarez earlier, same result. Nope, this time Epstein gets it just inside the goalpost, and a game that Wisconsin had in the bag. They cough up at Michigan's charm. They had it today. 12 men on the field. It seems like almost the exact opposite as the Michigan State game. You got to feel for the true freshman who's trying to do his job, but he did it a little too much, a little bit too active in that situation.
Well, call out the Stanford band. Only trouble is the Wisconsin band is in behind the return team. Can't help them out down here, so they're on their own. Epstein with the ball on the tee. 10 seconds left. And he just drills this one. So take this football, band. And he drove the return man right into the band. What a leg.
Right off to the 20. First and 10, Wisconsin.
While we're waiting, let's tell you about our Chevy players of the game. We had a great matchup of wide receivers, and these 2 defensive backs did outstanding jobs all day long against them. Todd Howard of Michigan and Mike Eccles of Wisconsin. They were standouts here today.
Michigan has 163 total yards on the day, and they're going to steal one here in the 4th quarter. 2 field goals, 1 missed and 1 made.
Bollinger from the gun. He'll fire toward Charles. 3 seconds to go. One more. Hale Bollinger coming.
Problem with this one, if you're Wisconsin, is even if you catch it, the game's over. So you have to do something else. You got to do a hook and lateral. You have to have something short and try to run it the distance because you can't throw a Hail Mary and score. I know Barry will be second guessing himself on that one. You know, sometimes things just happen. You really can't even. I feel for the kid so much in that situation.
Receivers deflected. Michigan wins it. Michigan wins it. They still lead the Big Ten. 1 game away from a BCS bid, and of course Lloyd Carr immediately seeks out Barry Alvarez. He knows how tough this loss was. It cost Alvarez and Wisconsin a chance for any bowl bid this year. Wisconsin will not go to a bowl.
The University of Wisconsin would like to recognize today's game day presenter, Piggly Wiggly. A special thanks to Piggly Wiggly for their support.
The kicking game is the difference. And the Wolverines win it 20-17.
Face off at 8:05 p.m. for tickets.
Brent, you wondered if Michigan was owed something. Remember the last second loss to Michigan State and the loss earlier in the season to Washington. Problems for about 30 seconds in that game, so they come up with the victory. If they beat Ohio State, they're the champions of the Big Ten. Right now, let's return to Keith Jackson.
Gesser puts it in the air to the end zone. Jump ball from McElrath, and it's incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down and goal for Washington State at the Washington 5.
So Michigan gets a win. We just saw that, and this Washington club, that was one of the best comebacks we'd seen all year when they beat Michigan here. Did it with special teams late.
Yep. The Cougars have failed twice from 1st and goal on the 5, once from the 6. Now they're looking at 3rd down and goal from the 5. This possession started on the 7. Gesser pumped it, throws it, got him wide open. McElrath makes the catch. Touchdown, Cougars.
You know, it wasn't until McElrath went up to Gesser and started screaming for the ball, you know, begging him to throw it to him. They started going to him here in the 4th quarter, and the guy's virtually unstoppable.
26-13, and let's see if they try 2 here. No reason to. They make it 26-14. As Dunning comes in to kick, he came into the ball game with 84 points. This will give him 86 on the season. It's good. So you've got 3 minutes and 58 seconds to play. You got a 12-point ball game. Washington leading 26-14, and break out the good hands, folks. You know an onside kick is coming.
So Denver doesn't win a Super Bowl till long after Tommy's retired. And the Packers, I mean, they couldn't win one until Sterling hung them up. I don't think it's really a coincidence. It's just my thought. I don't know. I mean, you won Super Bowl.
It's not that hard. Hey, Boomer.
Sterling.
Burger's ready.
Great. I've been looking forward to this.
There you go.
NFL Countdown, Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Whenever you call me, whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be around.
Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last.
You never have to look too far.
Chevy, we'll be there.
Always with you.
We're about providing financial solutions for people at growing companies. That's what we do at the Principal Financial Group. These are uncertain times. Everyone's very emotional right now. We understand the best companies are those that care about keeping their best employees. And as the nation's 401k leader, we have more plans than anyone. We can help secure the financial future of your employees, which will keep you working together a long, long time. The Principal Financial Group. Call us if we can help.
3:58 left to play. And you just know there's got to be an onside kick coming up here.
There's McElrath, and there is Mike Levenseller.
They're now tied in the record book. One more, and McElrath will own the record of receptions. Well, they've had some great catchers over there. Hugh Campbell, remember Hugh? Throw the ball up, and Hugh'd go up the crowd, and somehow he'd come down. He'd be 4 inches shorter than anybody else. He'd still get it. Ed Barker, good one. The good old days. Ball bounces up, and it's caught by the Huskies. Covering on the play is Charles Frederick, and Washington has the football at the 47-yard line. Here's Todd.
Well, Keith, this is what they're playing for. They call it the Apple Cup, but it's really the Apple Cup Trophy. And I got its name because Washington is the home of some of the best apples in the world. But for the last few years, this has resided in the equipment room of the Washington Huskies, and it looks like it might be going back there. I know the fans here at Washington, they want it to stay put. So there it is, the notorious Apple Cup. And that's what they're playing for. Keith.
We need a new trophy.
It doesn't weigh much, I'll tell you that.
It's not red and delicious.
No, it's not. It's like an unused bowling trophy. The ball is handed to Willie Hurst. He's going to pop out of there and make a big play out of it. Lamont Thompson finally dragged him down. Time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report, scores and highlights from around the country. Matter of fact, they've talked to the Apple Commission, State Apple Commission, about a new trophy. And it's my understanding that someone said, well, we're spending our promotional money outside the state now.
Whoops.
I'd rethink that. If
I would too. Now, it's only been the Apple Cup since what, 1962?
That's what they say, yeah. Well, I lived here a long time, and I never remembered doing that. I guess I must have. The ball is handed for the inside for the tailback. They're just going to sit on the ground and grind away with it as long as they can, because it's now 3.5 minutes coming up, and they lead by 12 points. And it would seem at this juncture they've got enough points to win the ball game.
Well, when you were at Washington State, what did they call this game? Just a good old-fashioned backyard brawl?
Yep. War. The crowd today is 74,442. It is the third largest crowd in Husky Stadium history. It's in a different kind of a ball game, but certainly full of fight. There's Willie Hurst again carrying, and they spill him after about a 3-yard pickup, and the clock continues as soon as they unstack him.
26-14 is just about a done deal. But
yep.
Let me say this while I'm here. This is one of the best stadiums in the country. They call it a Saturday cathedral, and it certainly is that. And look at this. I mean, the best venues you could ever imagine. Just spectacular, spectacular visuals here at Husky Stadium.
Cougars called that timeout. They have 2 remaining, and the time remaining is 2:59.
Always make you feel welcome when you come to the University of Washington, don't they?
Yes, they certainly try. It does not rain on game day, they say.
You couldn't have sold me 2 days ago.
Well, Monday night, good one on ABC's Monday Night Football, the rematch for the NFC Championship of a year ago, with the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants having a go at it. It'll be at 6 o'clock Pacific time. ABC's Monday Night Football, and what a day for young Reggie Williams, huh?
Spectacular.
I bet he's glad he stayed at home.
Yeah, you know, and he's a guy that in high school said he was probably going to come out of college early. And then he got here and said he was going to come out early and go to the bigs. I wish he'd just enjoy the experience here in college, and he's having a terrific year and will have a terrific career. Just take your time. Don't rush things. Life's too short.
3rd down and 8. Running the ball. That's Willie Hurst. Pretty steady, this guy. He's got a couple of yards to go for the first down, and now the Cougars are probably going to turn another.
Talking about Reggie Williams, what he has. Keith, who does it remind you of? Got that speed, got that size, got that body control. Precision routes and toughness.
Well, Tim Brown comes to mind for one.
Yep.
Today's Chevrolet players are Nakoa McElrath of Washington State and Reggie Williams of the University of Washington. How long has it been since you've had 2 wideouts named?
That's been a long time.
The MVPs. McElrath, 5 catches, 98 yards and a touchdown, most of it late. Williams, huge first half. He totals 11 catches for 203 yards. In recognition of their effort, Chevrolet making a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. We mentioned earlier that these 2 programs are pretty deep right now, and if they add another good recruiting class each, they are going to have a lot of people to play football with next year. It's probably the deepest talent pool that Mike Price has ever had in Washington State, and the Huskies, they got 7 people going to surgery after the season. If you get them all back, get them healthy, they're really going to have a lot of folks play the game. It's 4th down and 2, and Cody Pickett takes off. He does a nice hook slide for a first down. Are you watching, Jason?
You know, Keith, I certainly agree with what you're saying about these 2 teams and how solid they'll be next year. And I'll take it a step further, and I'll say I believe the entire Pac-10 gets stronger next year. And we already said this is the strongest conference top to bottom this year. I think next year this conference will be even better.
Well, the Oregon Ducks, they've got some pretty good quarterback stuff waiting behind Joey Harrington down there, and they're not going to go away. Oregon State, you saw them last week. You know what they've got there, and they get it all pieced together. And so the balance of power might very well stay up here for another year or so, maybe longer, who knows. Run the ball down to the 20-yard line. But you certainly would anticipate Southern California getting a little better as time goes on. Stanford's got a lot of people to play next year, too.
I think UCLA will be strong again. I don't know. They're fragile mentally because they start fast every year and seem to die in the middle. But top to bottom, this is going to be a tough conference.
So the Oregon Ducks are in line for the reason we can say Oregon gets a BCS berth is because Oregon holds all the tiebreakers with everybody else who's in contention. So the Ducks are going to go to a BCS game, and it looks to me like the Oregon Ducks are going to go to the Fiesta Bowl unless other teams tumble between now and the 1st of December. And the Ducks get a chance to go to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, and that's a long shot, but it certainly is still possible. Keep in mind, Washington's going down to play Miami. Oklahoma still has to play Texas. I mean, a lot would have to happen, but, Oklahoma has to play Nebraska. But, Oregon's still holding out hope, and every time Joey Harrington is interviewed, he says that.
Well, the Big 12 this year may find that it's a hard thing to swallow when you've got a chance to have two teams at the BCS, and they got to play one another for the championship. That can cost you some big bucks.
Here are the BCS standings again, and we're talking about Nebraska and Oklahoma playing again. Miami plays Washington next week, and they're the Ducks. Now, here's the problem. There's a big difference between that number 1 and number 4, and then you look back here, and there's Washington State and Stanford. Boy, Stanford had to go today with Cal, huh?
Yeah, they had a hard time. Cougars are going to fall down some as a result of this. Tennessee may lose some, too, since they barely escaped Kentucky. Because at this point, you know, the quality factor comes into play and becomes obvious. The quality factor is something that Florida has to deal with, and it might be an asset for the Gators as we wind it down. But the point to be made from this game here today, it was a terrific performance by the Washington Huskies. Not such a good performance by the Washington State Cougars, frankly. It just wasn't. And big shootout for Miami against Syracuse today. But the Oregon Ducks are on their way to a BCS Bowl game. And it would seem kind of likely, if it's any, it'll be the Fiesta. Stanford had a hard time.
Yeah.
So did Michigan against up in Madison against Wisconsin.
Keith, we go back to what Mike Price said. He really felt this team had to get off to a good start. They had to have early success because they haven't had to come from behind all year, really. I mean, they've had success. The closest game was the Oregon that last play, but here they fell behind big and just couldn't come back. Just never really got it going. And they hurt themselves.
Yep. Well, if you don't get points when you're down there first and goal from the 5 twice and 6 once, pretty hard to win a ball.
Yeah, they'll be kicking themselves when they watch this tape.
40 seconds to go in the ball game. Loomis was our producer today. Patrick McManus, our director. Our technical director, John Zippe. Associate producer, Derek Mobley. Associate director, Jeff Kibler. Assistant producer, Ross Malloy and Tom Wicks. As we told you, Kelly Hayes, our spotter, and Marco Mito, our statistician. Computer stats, Matt Jenkins. Production manager, Joe Alvarado. Technical manager, Dennis Zabo. I'm Tim Brent's footman. Todd Harris was on the field.
And Keith Jackson, the luminary Hall of Fame legend.
When they start calling you a legend, you know you're not far from being an ancestor. The final seconds are going away. The Huskies have won again at home as they beat arch rival Washington State by a score of 26-14. ABC Sports Online, ESPN.com, keyword ABC Sports. This is a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence. Coming up next on the West Coast, the World Golf Championships, EMC World Cup.